without knowing the consequences because I didn't want people to yell at me for being late, even though I'm literally 1 minute late. So hi, hopefully people are having a good time. Just saving up some replays here for our new player tournament so we can get into this. The consequences. It's my own voice! Alright, sound check went well, obviously. Whew. Hi everybody. What do we have? It's our weekly new player tournament, back to its old format. The 4-person Swiss round of Swiss, so every player gets at least 4 best-of-1 games. And then if there are any ties towards the end, we will resolve those with like a mini bracket. Like if there's 2 people tied, we'll just have them face each other to determine a winner. It's pretty simple. You'll see my name in there. We had a player who was going to be home 5 minutes late, so I just signed up, and he is now playing as me. And we had a buy round, and Total Tavern really wanted to tell Johnny Cash, fuck you. But then we had someone drop out. Mostly Cloudy had to go. So now we're replacing Mostly Cloudy with Johnny Cash so that he has less buy rounds. It's complicated. Everything's complicated. Nothing is simple. We're just living in the Skaven times. Because when have the Skaven ever made something straightforward? It's always slapdash together and held together with duct tape and warpstone and garbage, and that's who we are. We're the duct tape and warpstone and garbage YouTube channel that covers Total War, which is also held together with duct tape and warpstone and garbage. And if you don't believe me, just try hitting a steam tank in melee with knights. You're not wrong. You're just an asshole. That's me, dude. King of the Hoot Hoots, I just saved your replay, so you can't criticize me. Hi, World Beater. It's been a long time. Hi. Father Ram sent me a replay. It's versus Surprise. Did he let Surprise play as dwarves? Let's find out. He did not let Surprise play as dwarves. Oh, hey! Father Ram took my build. Well, not all my build, just the Packmaster Warlord combo that I invented. I didn't invent a lot of things, but I invented that. Grimbat also sent me something. I'll send Grimbat a TY. I haven't responded to anybody else who sent me replays, but Grimbat added an emoji, so now I feel bad for not answering. You still haven't done the random Changeling Lord Battle Royale? I have not. I have, in fact, been busy. Possibly. I've been told Grimbat versus Fireball is suffering. Let's see the suffering. Okay, these builds don't look too sufferingly bad. So what should we do first? Greyheart versus Maihai? Nurgle versus Skaven? Wait, that's not your names. King of the Hoot Hoots versus Falling Star. Ooh, Falling Star? That's a name I haven't seen for a while. B6A6, that's what he is in Total Tavern. I remember liking Falling Star's replays. That's exciting and fun. We love that. What do you bet on winning? Out of the people that are here, mostly Cloudy's not actually here, so we have 10 players. I don't know. Surprise and Father Ram are pretty good, but Father Ram's been on a super long break, so I don't know what form he's in right now. Surprise if he banned his dwarves. I have no idea how good he is. I just know he's good at dwarves. Greyheart's fine. I'm gonna go with Falling Star just because I remember being very impressed with them last time they played. So I'm just gonna bet it all on Falling Star. Let's watch their game right now and see how they're doing. You think Johnny Cash is gonna win it? Another solid bet. Johnny Cash is quite good. But I'm gonna go with Falling Star. Alright, King of the Hoots with some Nurgle action. We have a lot of thrones. Epidemius on his little throne. Then we have a Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle. A Plague Ridden of Nurgle with just Trance Visitations for his spell. Plague Bearers, Exalted Plague Bearers, including Festering Stooges. And then we have the Noxbringer. Interesting. On the other side, for the Skaven of Falling Star, we have double Doomflayer. 2 rat ogres as well for some mass, a whole bunch of the 360 shooting night runners. Did you make me tea?
Uh-huh.
You're the best, Bubba.
I just poured it, so it still needs to steep.
Okay, there's no camera. Do you want to say hi to people?
Oh, hi everyone.
Okay. Chat, what are 3 questions for Grace? Real fast. There's going to be a delay while they come up with questions, so I'm just going to turn to you and look into your eyes.
Okay.
They're purple.
They're not purple. That's a lie.
Well, the irises are blue, but the outside the irises are purple.
That's also not true. That's even more untrue.
The line connecting the iris to
No, there's nothing that's purple.
It's your favorite color.
That's one of them. I do like the color purple.
What's your other one then?
I also like blue and I also like green.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hazel's here too. It's a family
Does anyone
meeting.
have 3 questions for Hazel?
Anyone? Hazel, what's your favorite color? She says money.
So green.
Hazel, what's your favorite food? Anything money can buy?
Yeah, so any kind of food.
Uh-oh. Skippy asked you how big is it, his monitor.
His monitor?
Yeah, how big are my monitors?
Like, I'm not gonna answer that because
it's a monitor! It's not about peens.
okay, his monitors are like regular size.
Alright. Does Grace have any Tabasco tea?
Tabasco tea?
I drank that spicy honey in my tea once. Remember?
Oh,
I showed you.
right.
I started the stream of, like, literally the stream started. Oh, fuck!
Yeah. No, I don't have any Tabasco tea because I...
That's rude. Twist asked you a very important question.
Twist. What are the numbers on the back of your...
What are the numbers on the back of your credit card?
666.
Wow, a 3-number credit card. She must have been one of the first. Alright, we're gonna get into the games now. You all wasted your chances to ask great questions.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I didn't ask Hazel any questions.
Now they gotta ask Hazel questions. People that came here for Total War content, you're shit out of luck. This is our lives now.
Too late.
It's too late.
It happens.
Do you like those storm vermin?
No.
Okay. Okay. Alright, dick.
Okay. If you ask me if I like anything in this game, I'm probably gonna say.
Look at him though, he's got his little mouth open.
I don't like that.
Alright, 1001 airstrikes at high, does that count?
Oh, it's not a question for Hazel.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Hey, look at her, she's so sad because she feels left out. Left out. Little stinky girl.
Okay, so 3 questions just got asked.
Would Hazel get along with someone?
Karanak. He's the devil dog of Khorne.
Oh, probably.
He's not that friendly to other dogs, but alright.
Well, she likes some dogs.
Okay.
Streamer ever. Question to Hazel: who is a good boy?
Ed.
Lil Moo Cow.
Her brother, who is a cat. And then the other... Does Grace like Total War? That's a question for Hazel.
No.
No.
I don't like Total War.
Okay, I gotta do the things, though. I gotta go... I gotta...
I'm allowed to read the chats.
Okay, but then I gotta cast the game. Okay. There's another cat? No, Ed is the only cat. Alright, cast the games. We're moving on. I have only received video. Video of what? Okay, the audio's working. I got worried there was a stream problem. Anyway, moving on. For the Skaven, a Falling Star, we have Skaven Slave Slingers, Storm Vermin Halberds, and then Night Runners. Pretty solid bet against Nurgle. A lot of what Nurgle has is weak to basic archers, which slings are essentially archers, and spears, which Storm Vermin Halberds are most definitely spears. We also have Lord Skrulk, very powerful against demonic factions. His only counter is one that unfortunately Nurgle can bring. Rancid Visitations Overcast on Skrulk will kill him in 2 or 3 casts. So that's going to be a little tricky. I am concerned about this Nurgle build, but now that I see the Skaven have no Jezzails or Warp Lightning Cannons, I am less concerned. I still think the Skaven are a little favored here, but at least they don't have Warp Lightning Cannons to easily shoot down Epidemius from a distance. Noxbringer fires into some Night Runners. He's going to diminish their ammunition, which Night Runners already don't have a lot, so that is pretty hurtful for them. The Storm Vermin Halberds get into the fight as their Clan Rat Spear Brethren are leaving. Plague Bearers will beat the shit out of Storm Vermin. Plague Bearers will beat most things if you get into melee. All of their weaknesses are outside of melee, but if you get into melee, then Plague Bearers are great. They do well there. Rat Ogre is also diving in. And Skrulk is about to join Epidemius in the front line. Wait, where is Epidemius? Oh, he's way over there. Okay, he's getting close to Plague Ridden, which is pretty on point. He has to kill that Plague Ridden quite quickly. As we noted, it's going to be tough for Skrulk if he gets Rancid Visitation. He's going to have a bad time. Doom players and Rat Ogres trying to churn through the Exalted Plague Bearers. Rat Ogres will definitely need help as the Doom players try and get some infantry killing muscle in there. And that Chaos War Shrine is pushed away. In comes the first Rancid Visitations. It is overcast. Skrulk is not going to enjoy that. Not one bit, not at all. As Plague Bearers continue to get churned through. Nurgle is pulling slightly ahead on the balance of power. And I believe it. As one cast of Rancid Visitations, yeah, it takes Skrulk below half HP, so another overcast of it will actually kill him. I'm telling you, man, if you're Nurgle, take Rancid Visitations into Skaven. Don't take Stream of Corruption. Don't take Fleshy Abundance. That shit's a waste of your time. Look at how much damage you can do to their Lord. Look at it. You think Ikit Claw is that much tankier than Skrulk against that kind of thing? Fuck no. It takes 3 casts of Rancid Visitation to kill him. Chaos War Shrine is still healing up. It's at 50% intensity, healing everybody around it, nice and slow as Epidemius continues to punish the front line. And the Skaven melee is just not holding up to Nurgle's melee at all. Their range doesn't quite have the DPS it's going to need to get through these guys. Again, without Jezzails or Warp Lightning Cannons, there's not a lot of single entity targeting pressure, as the Night Runners are using most of their ammo to try and get past the Exalted Plague Bears that are peeling them. And to be fair, did a lot of damage to the Chaos War Shrine. But the slow healing of Nurgle will keep it upright, while the slow poke of the Skaven keeps poking it down. Skrulk's gonna fight the Noxbringer. Go, Skrulk, go. Just hope it doesn't actually turn at you or damage you in any way before that Rancid Visitations comes out. What do the Skaven have left? They still have some Storm Vermin. They still have 2 pretty healthy Doom players. And the Nurgle infantry in some places are getting low. It's not even across the board. It's not even like all their infantry is super low. Skrulk chucks out another Rod of Corruption just to burn all of his spells that he can before the next Rancid Visitations comes for him. Because it is coming, don't you worry. It's coming soon. I don't know what he could do. Because, like, he could take Skrulk and just send him super far away so the Rancid Visitations can't target him. But it's not like the Skaven are ahead except for the fact that Skrulk's dying. Like, Skrulk dying is just a larger symptom of the game that is happening here. Getting pretty close to some of these Plague Bearers routing. Or Demonic Instability Crumbling, I suppose, is a more appropriate thing. It looks like Skrulk is trying to get some distance so he's not such easy prey for Rancid Visitations. Wants to stay in range to keep casting Wither, reducing the Plague Bearer's armor to literally 0. Figuratively 0, I guess it's 5. But more Skaven are starting to shatter. Slingers are even starting to rout at full HP because they're Skaven slaves. That tracks, makes sense. The Doom players doing their best to cycle charge the way to victory. Some of the Plague Bearers' heal caps are starting to appear. Skrulk is coming back in range. I imagine he has a Rancid Visitation in his future. I know I keep saying it, but it's just the ticking timer until the Skaven Lord dies. And if you've seen a Skaven game ever, you know that once the Lord dies, the game kind of tends to end immediately. Skrulk does dive back in. He must have a good reason for being here. I'm guessing his Rod of Corruption is off cooldown or just wants to pop it in the middle of all these guys, but your time is up, my friend. Time is up. Skrulk is doomed. And just like that, with 2 Rancid Visitation overcasts, Skrulk dies. Whenever I see Nurgle or Demons of Chaos players not take Rancid Visitations and escape it, I'm like, okay, so you don't want to win. Now with Skrulk dead, we see a whole lot more white flags appearing, and just like that, we went from almost 50-50, maybe like 40-60 on the balance of power, to pretty much army losses in the blink of an eye because Skrulk died. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy that that happened. No one could have predicted that that would happen. Wait a second, did I predict that would happen? Like 6 minutes ago? That's crazy. So the Plague Bearer is held forever. The lack of any Poison Globes definitely hurt Falling Star a little bit to clear out those extra infantry. Lack of a Warp Lightning Cannon or a Jezzail also really hurt for the ranged pressure. Since I'm passionate about Skaven, I'm going to talk about this briefly. So Skaven versus... Oops. So Skaven versus Nurgle. I think you have 2 build options. I'll do my preferred one first. I like to do a Warlord and a Packmaster. Go Brood Horror. Actually, wait, I just took that. I took it versus Alfredino. Hold on. I don't need to work in theory. Y'all could just frickin' see it. Okay, videos. Come with me, my friends, come with me. Oh wow, secret videos that aren't released yet. That's crazy. There's a lore video, there's some replays. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, where is it? Best Skaven player in the world versus best player in the world. So here's my Skaven build versus Nurgle. I would take out Throt, because I was just trying him for the content's sake, but otherwise this build is roughly it. I take a Plague Priest. He's much tankier than a Warlock Engineer, because if you take the Warlock Engineer on foot with Flensing Ruin, if you have a Brood Horror Lord, Nurgle might just Rance Visitations your Warlock Engineer and instantly Terror out him, and then you don't have a caster, so I like the Plague Priest on his bell. It also gives him a nice Mortis engine to get rid of any Nurgle infantry. The Brood Horror Lord can heal up through the Rance Visitations, and he has a higher HP pool than most of the Skaven Lords, so you just kind of tank Rance Visitations, and you usually want to, like, take the Warlord on a Brood Horror is better than Throt. Don't take Throt, fuck Throt. Warlord on a Brood Horror, and then pretty much just take him butt naked. Just keep him as cheap as possible. He's there to tank Rance Visitations and give you leadership for your army. Otherwise, from that, you're fine. Clan Rat Spear frontline will hold forever. Nurgle doesn't have a ton of fast-hitting infantry. He either has Plague Bearers, which are slow, Chaos Warriors, which are slow, or Pestigores, which are pretty fast, but Clan Rats can generally have a high melee defense against them, they'll be fine. Slingers, Night Runners, Gutter Runners, Triple Globes, and then the Warp Lightning Cannon ROR. Just shoot their Lord or Caster and put them on constant cooldown. Delay those Rance Visitations even more. So, that's generally the build I like to go with. If you don't want to do that build and you want something more shooty, there's another way to go. You go Gracier on a Bell, because if you go a shooty build, you don't have a lot of money, so you kind of need to keep it nice and cheap. So we'll do a Plague Caster. Keep Warpstone Scroll in case of Furies. It's 100 gold, but if there are Furies, it's really good. If there aren't, then whatever, the 100 gold is worth it. Blessed with Filth and Vermintide. His Scream Bell gives him higher HP, 6,000, but also gives him 25% spell resistance. That'll help you a little bit. Still want a Clan Rat Spear frontline for all the reasons we just talked about. 2 Poisonwind Globes to clear out some infantry, 4 Slingers to deal with Plague Toads or Furies, and then double Warp Lightning Cannon, double Jezzail. And this is just to shoot the absolute fuck out of them build. From there you can grab Rat Ogres to do some blocking if you want. We can get 20 gold back here. So you could do that, 4 Rat Ogres to block if you want. Could cut some Rat Ogres and get some Dogs, because Dogs are pretty good against Chaos Furies, and then we could upgrade one of you to like a Night Runner. Or you could... I'm showing you the iterations, right? Or you could get rid of those and get 4 Night Runners instead. Again, downgrading one of the Clan Rats to a regular Clan Rat. So then these are your anti-air against the Furies. These guys are still good against Chaos Spawn or Plague Toads. Jezzail's Warp Lightning Cannon is still good at pressuring enemy lords, rot flies, all that stuff. You deploy this pretty wide so that your stuff isn't close together and getting disrupted. But it's another way to play it. It's not the way I prefer to play it, but it's another way. It's viable. So yeah, there are 2 builds to try and fight Nurgle. Because this one, if they Rance Visitation your Gracier, that's neat and stuff, but also you have so much shooting, you can probably force that Rance Visitation caster to fuck off for a bit. And if he ever comes close to you, just mess him up with like 2 Jezzails and Warp Lightning Cannons. Alright, now that I ranted at you about things you don't care about, how are we feeling about casting more replays? Hey, that was a cool matchup. There was some Skaven on the screen. Oh, fuck, you went into another hour-long rant about Skaven. Ah, shit, I don't care about that at all. Alright, Greyheart versus Eisenberg. Let's move on. Greenskins, Doom Kings. Master Assassin, Ashen Sorcerer. Master Assassin's currently bugged when he fires all of his ninja stars at once, so that's generally not allowed in competitive play. Did you all enjoy my Nurgle fight? I was mid-battle, so I couldn't watch. King the Hoodoots, you did fantastically. Alrighty. Moving on. For the Greenskins, we have a Night Goblin Shaman with Vindictive Glare and Gork'll Fix It. A front line of Orc Boys backed up by Savage Orc Biggins. Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Orc Boys with Spears. That's a lot of Orc Boys, my word. Orc R Boy. Is everything an Orc to you? Orc Boar Boy Biggins everywhere the eye can see. A Giant and then a Night Goblin Warboss. How is a Night Goblin leading an army of, like, entirely Orcs? That ain't right. Something about that don't sit right. On the other side, for the Tomb Kings, we have Necropolis Knights, 2 Shop Grapos, one of which is the Chosen of the Gods. There are 2 Necropolis Knights, actually. Double Kitty Cat, Cetra himself, and the Sphinx Usef, and then we have some Skeleton Spearmen and Tomb Guard as a front line. Very tight, small Tomb Kings build. Cetra's going to try and charge through all these fools. The Greenskins are going to have to be on point with their rampages, because left to their own devices, the cats can run through, like, infinite amounts of infantry, but if you rampage Cetra, who just sits in Savage Orc Biggins while getting hit by the Broken Tusk mob or something, that could be pretty impactful. The people say, please, we need to hear more about things we don't care about. We don't care about it enough yet. Oh, I need to convince you to care about it. Star Bomber, I don't play a lot of campaign. Mostly a online gamer these days. As the Orc Boys are getting into the fight, these ones are having a terrible time as snakes and cats run over them, but in the main frontline fight where they get to fight little skeletons, they are faring much better, as their spiked maces will do quite well against those guys. Necropolis Knights, gonna have to be careful not to get stuck on Savage Orc Biggins or Orc Boys with spears. Lots of dangerous things there. Whoa, what is going on over here? A lot of damage on the Necropolis Knights as the Orc Boar Boy Biggins get spited to Bad Moon, bonus versus large, and extra damage, but the Night Goblin Warboss may have overextended. But we're fighting on Savage Orc Biggins in the middle of a wall. They do a lot of damage if you stand still. There's the fermented fungi that we needed. I talked about it at the very start. You don't have a lot of damage to kill these guys if they keep moving, but if they stop for any reason, the Savage Orc Biggins can slap them down. Look at hundreds of HP just getting peeled off of Cetra the longer he stands there, but the Rampage forces him into it as the Giant is walking over, and now the Night Goblin runs away. That is some good cheeky hit and run baiting tactics. Sit in Savage Orc Biggins, get charged by the enemy lord, kill enemy lord, profit. Now, on the back line, Orc Boar Biggins have gotten to the Chosen of the Gods. The Tomb Kings didn't bring any cavalry, really. They brought some 2 Necropolis Knights, but despite Knight being in their name, they're too slow. They're monsters cavalry, they're not like real cav, so there's nothing fast enough to peel off these Orc Boar Boys, and it looks like both of you Shopti are going to go down in the meantime. Cetra just trying to stay safe away from that rampaging Gobbo. The Greenskins are quite up on the balance of power. I don't think the Tomb Kings are out of this just yet. It is looking a little scary, but Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance is quite powerful. And Cetra and his Sphinx are pretty good as well if they can cycle charge. In comes the Orc Boar Biggins, getting Usirians'd and charged by Necropolis Knights as Cetra stays safe. I haven't seen the Ushapti summon yet. I don't know where that's going to pop up. There's not a lot of great places. This whole Greenskin build is rather fighty, so it's not like an Ushapti shows up and kills the ROR Hellstorm Rocket Battery, like for the Empire or something. Anything it spawns on top of is generally going to fight back pretty well. As this Night Goblin Warboss ain't giving up on Cetra just yet, gets a little rear charge on him. I think he's going for this while he has his Wa active, and he wants to net him, yeah, like that, and finish him off. I'm a little concerned if the Sphinx Usef can get out here and do some damage, but he gets caught on his own Necropolis Knight, and the Vindictive Glare spam from the back from the Night Goblin Shaman is actually doing decent work on Cetra, so did poke him down in the end. Now the Tomb Kings without their Lord, they're very far behind the balance of power. I don't think even a perfectly microed Sphinx Usef can carry this whole game, and it seems pretty doomed. The Ushapti summon showed up, and even that is not going to be able to boost bounce power for long enough to keep them in this game. I think army losses is just around the corners. The Necropolis Knights are going to fade away. Skeleton Spears and Tomb Guards slowly dying to the Orc Boy tide. And on a recent tier list, Tomb Kings were listed as S tier and Greenskins a mere C tier. And here they pounded the Tomb Kings, so who knows what about anything? It's all lies and slander and garbage. Good try from Heisenberg, though. His build was fun. 2 Necropolis Knights is always pretty fun. People love that. It was just a little thin, because he had, like, Ushapti Great Bows ain't cheap, Necropolis Knights ain't cheap, Cetra and his other cat aren't cheap, so after that, there's just not a lot to, like, keep them all in line. For Greyheart, it was a very creative build. Very neat. I'm not sold on the all orc boys all day, but I guess it did work. I think you could cut like 2 of the regular orc boys and get maybe a 3rd biggin. Savage orc biggin. But teach their own. I'm nitpicking. The man won the game. Just let it happen. Oh, I have more replays to save. I don't want to save them. I will not save them. You cannot make me. Okay. Say more things angrily. I don't like paying for things. How's that? Kyle Lavelle joins with his gifted sub. Thank you, sir. As I pull the tea out so it stops steeping before we get into our next game here. All right, on to the Skaven, who I love talking about. Father Ramsey versus Surprise. Father Ramsey with a patented human boy, yes, Skaven build. And by that I mean he took 2 things that I like, and I'm claiming the entire build for myself. The Skaven Warlord Packmaster combo is very, very strong here. They are quick-moving terror. The regeneration is nice in this matchup because you know you're probably going to face Spirit Leech. But the quick-moving terror against the low-leadership faction like Greenskins is very nice. You can get to whatever fights you need to just break up and buy yourself some time. So I like that a lot. It's a good Lord and Hero combo. We brought Rally, which I do like a lot. I didn't recommend bringing it in the Nurgle build just because Nurgle is so good at Lord sniping that I don't feel like making my Lord any more expensive than he has to be. But Rally's pretty good. Packmaster with Running with the Pack and Shock Collar. Then we have Warlock Engineer with only Flensing Ruin. Night Runners, Council Guard, Skaven Slave Spears, 2 Dogs, 4 Rat Ogres, and Icket Zap Zap. So now I talk a lot about the Skaven. If you're Azheg here and you have Spirit Leech, spend your Spirit Leeches on the Warlock Engineer. Get him nice and low because his leadership is horrendously bad and he can be terror routed. And I know that gives the Skaven what they want. Their Lord's not going to get sniped, but they spent a lot of money making sure their Lord won't get sniped. You're not going to out Spirit Leech this guy's healing in the early game. The only way you out Spirit Leech this guy's healing is if it goes to the late game. And you know how you don't get to the late game? If you get fucking Flensing Ruined 3 times. So, heads up, if you see this combo in a Warlock Engineer, snipe out the Warlock Engineer. If you have Rancid Visitations as Nurgle, snipe out the Warlock Engineer. If you have Spirit Leech as Azheg, snipe out the Warlock Engineer. Don't bother with the Warlord. He has almost 100 speed, regeneration, and 6,000 HP. He'll die later. Stop Flensing Ruin. Also, because the Warlock Engineer doesn't have any way of regenerating winds and magic faster, you know those Flensing Ruins are going to take some serious time. So in the time you can snipe him out with Rancid Visitations or Spirit Leech plus 1 charge from a terror-causing unit, he'll probably get off 1 overcasted Flensing Ruin. Where if you give him the whole game, then fuck it. His winds of magic regen being slow doesn't matter. It's going to be a long game, and he'll get all of his casts out. So, I digress. So that was a Skaven build. I like it a lot. On the other side, we have Double Caster, Brainburster, Here We Go, Azheg with Doom and Darkness, and Spirit Leech. That is a lot of winds of magic to bank on using when neither of these casters has any way of speeding up your winds of magic generation, so I don't love that. I would just stick with Azheg, honestly. Skip the Orc Shaman. For the rest of it, we have Orc Boys, Night Goblins. Are they the Spinning Loons? Yes, they're the Spinning Loons. Good. Some Orc Aura Boys, the Swamp Things, Stone Trolls, and Orc Biggins. Overall, I think this is a solid build with some goblins in the background. These little Goblin Wolf Riders. Final thing. I get very passionate about Skaven matchups. Low-key, cut the Orc Shaman, cut all the Orc Boys, replace the Orc Boys with 2 Goblins with swords and 2 Savage Orc Regulars, and then get a Snotling Pump Wagon. I think you can afford all that for what I just told you to cut. If not, make some room elsewhere in the build. But Snotling Pump Wagons are solid in this matchup after the changes. They're just really good and disruptive. The thing is you want to slam them into the front line and then just keep going. Like, literally, give them a charge attack onto these Skaven slaves. They'll hit them, and then when the unit gets right about here, You can give them new attack orders past it, and they will go like literally right through them. And just cause disruption. That's all you want is disruption. And for 500 gold, you need to think of them. These orc boys are 75 gold cheaper than the fuck. What was that? What did I literally just say it was called? It's not like Pump Wagon. So treat it like a very fast orc boy, right? Spider Riders are 75 gold cheaper than a Pump Wagon. And the Pump Wagon can just boop through the front line, get into that back line, cause a bunch of disruption, and stop poison and globes or whatever. Though this build doesn't have any poison and globes. Still got my point. So those are adjustments I would make to the Greenskin build. Alright, let's focus. Let's do this. Now, Skaven Slaves are still not going to hold very long. As the Stone Trolls pile into them, they'll honestly get through those guys quite quickly. Goblin and Wolf Riders trying to keep the Skaven honest, but so far one of them just got peeled away by the Wolf Rats and Night Runners. And here go the Packmaster and Warlord. The Skaven Slaves immediately routed, though, leaving these guys all alone. They'll want to take a little bit of a fight, and when they take some damage, then back off and start regenerating up. But Night Runners are currently going to fire in, and Rat Ogres are coming up to help out as well. As Goblin Wolf Riders again try and get in here, but still the Wolf Rats ready to intercept them at any point. The Warp Lightning Cannons aren't being used to keep Azhag under wraps. They're being used to shoot the Stone Trolls. Not a bad choice either, honestly, pretty fine. But the Orc Aura Boys have been allowed in range, and that will quickly take out Ikit Zap Zap, so that is a bit of a problem. Rally comes in from the Warlord to counter the Doom and Darkness. I like that a lot. Doom and Darkness, Overcast, and Rally directly canceling each other out. But the Doom and Darkness lasts significantly longer, so I'm a little concerned. Once the Rally wears off, these Skaven Slaves will get going. And then that'll leave these guys rather exposed. And comes the first Waz. Orc Boar begins charging in. It's about to be a bad fight for the Skaven if it allows itself to continue, but Azhag's already half HP from a bit of melee fighting, Night Runner shots, and an overcasted Cleansing Ruin, so that's pretty disastrous for them. Greenskins got through the front line, but they need new attack orders, and it looks like they're kind of getting them to move towards Night Runners. Other ones are moving other places. Good job. Nice work splitting up what you're attacking, really putting the Skaven under pressure. Swamp Thing's trying to stay in there leadership-wise. They get down to -2, but they rally back up to 16, and they will start terror routing off some stuff in the backline. Orc Boar begins getting routed off by the terror of the Skaven. Balance power is very Skaven favorite, I would definitely agree. As these Goblin Wolf Riders that have been left in the background, they need to start getting activated to chase down things that are routing, make sure they can't come back. That's the other big thing about fighting Skaven is they route easily, but they also come back easily, so you gotta make sure that they don't come back ever. Rainbow Stout into some Night Runners, get some decent damage down, but Azhag is now landed in healthy Rat Ogres and Wolf Rats. Probably won't want that fight for much longer. We'll need to fall back as Orc Aura Boys are starting to commit damage onto the Warlord and Packmaster. Ooh, that's a good little Spinning Loon through the Council Guard, but the Spinning Loons betray their own kind, also decimating some Orcs in the background, and the Terror will come in from the Packmaster and Warlord. This is why this combo's so strong, though. They're just taking poke, little teeny tiny amounts of poke, and they keep healing it up till the late game, but if we don't get to the late game, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Orc Biggins and Orc Boys still routing a bunch of units. This like left side over here has gone pretty great for the Greenskins. This right side is an abject failure. It's a total disaster. As the Packmaster and Warlord made sure that this side didn't break, and then they just took a ton of damage for their efforts. Warp Lightning Cannon's back online briefly as Night Goblins try and finish off these Night Runners to get back onto the Warp Lightning Cannon, but there's another Cleansing Rune onto Azhag. This is undercast. But it gets Zap Zap also just getting a little bit of poke on him. Teeny tiny pokes here and there. Another Spinning Loon goes off into the distance, probably spin through something that I didn't see. And the Council Guard doing their best. The unbreakable Stormvermin Halberds of the High Council. Doing great. Azhag is gonna die soon. 1300 HP for him. Warlock Engineer's a little isolated, but Azhag is going to go try and help his Night Goblin shut down Ikit Zap Zap. He's worried about taking any extra damage from that. As he dives in, gets shot right in the face. It does eventually land, taking out an entire model with him as he goes. Greenskins are dangerously low on the balance power, and I would quite agree. Still a lot of Molder monsters left between the Wolf Rats and Rat Ogres. The Brood Buddies are both still very much alive. Warlock Engineer, if you can throw out one more undercasted Cleansing Ruin, will kill Azhag, and that'll be GG for sure. But army losses might call it before that, sensing that he could throw out that Cleansing Ruin soon. Not that soon. He had an Overcast earlier and Undercast here. Yeah, without Arcane Conduit, he doesn't get that much Winds of Magic regen, but he's fine. Okay, hi. Greenskins will always win because green is cool. Lil Trill, I'm sorry that was not true. Reminder that the Walk Engineer has 58 leadership after buffs, but a feral wolf has 60. He's less brave than a wild animal, Jet Party. I honestly think I think that's thematic. I think that's fine. I think a wolf... dude, actually just think about that, though. A wolf would stand its ground longer than a Skaven. Thanks, Lil Trill. I'm sorry you're cold in Norway. I hope it gets better. Hi, Boss Man Kane. Your character is one of the coolest ones in League of Legends, but I'm really bad at him, so I can't get anywhere because I'm garbage. Warlock Engineer got 1300 value. Night Runners did very well. Or Blinding Cannon got 1500 value. That's pretty great. It is weird. The count, like, here's my hot take: the Council Guard shouldn't be unbreakable because they literally aren't. In the books, they run away from shit all the time. They run with their masters, but they do run. In Queek's book, when he kills one of the Council Guard for fun, the other Council Guard hides behind the Greyseer, and the Greyseer has to, like, threaten to torch him alive with magic to get him to get back in front of him and fight Queek. So they're literally not unbreakable. I don't know. That is a weird choice. The Keepers of the Flame should be unbreakable. It would be bad for the game, but it would be lore accurate to make all Phoenix Guard unbreakable. No, that would be terrible for the game. I'm not advocating for that, but if we're talking about lore, all Phoenix Guard for sure. Because they never run. Like, in the books, they know how they die. When they get entered into the Order of the Phoenix Guard, they get shown how they die, and they lose their ability to speak. And from that, they never run, because they know what's going to happen. So it's like, I don't know. It's just funny. Jet Pardue, that's actually not that hard to program if you think about it. Just like, if you know the leadership one for the chieftain, power grab, it only procs when the allied lord is dead. Just have it, if the allied lord is alive, have Unbreakable be active, and if the allied lord is dead, then it wears off and they're no longer unbreakable. Like, that's actually very doable. Alright, moving on. We have our next game. From Grimbat versus Siegfalt, we have some Wood Elves, just as Trogdor joins the stream, so hopefully he's still around. Hand cannons, handgunners, regular deckhands mobs as well. That is a lot of Daka from the Vampire Coast. Carronades, Shade Wraith Gunners, Lamprey's Revenge, Animated Hulks, and Silos Fun. So here's the thing. I got comments recently that said I should be talking more during new player tournaments about what they can be doing better instead of just casting the games. There's nothing to do here. Deploying like this is good for the Vampire Coast. I like this deployment, it's solid. But once you assess the battlefield and you see what's up, you need to make a decision. And right here, you see your enemy with 8 archers. This front line needs to advance at least to about here. Now, I would argue that you have so many zombies, you want the melee to start. You don't want to get into a shooting fight with 8 archers or whatever. 1v1. What is it? 4, 7. 7 archers and 4 skirmish cav. You don't want to get into that shooting battle. But if you get into that shooting battle, you at least want to utilize your range. You have 250 range on your deck gunners. They have 170 on their archers. So you need to make the front line happen here. That front line fight needs to fight over there so your deck gunners and cannons can shoot in safety. If you stand here, you're not achieving anything because the archers are going to walk up and get in range of your super fragile pieces and shoot you anyway. And why I said it's fine to start the game like this is because you don't know. If they went with a heavy cav charge, if we had like Great Stag Knights and Wild Riders, you want to tighten up, right? So then in that case, if that's the build you saw, you'd want these flanks to drop back to about here and set up a little bit of a line, right? Get some of that going, then have your animated Hulks and Prometheans back here, and then you're good to go. But as soon as you see the archer lines, and there's very little flank pressure, 4 skirmish cav isn't that much. Don't leave these guys undefended, but you have hand cannons, you have handguns, you have summons from Solostra. You have stuff to protect them, so push up your front line, get some zombies out here so the archers can't just walk up for free. FYI. I like the build, though. Build's fine. I just hope they move up. But it doesn't look like they're going to, which is why I started talking about that. I suspected they wouldn't. Because you think you're in a defensive formation, but you're actually outranged by the Wood Elves, so you want to close that gap a little bit. Anyway. For the Wood Elves, we have 4 Glade Riders. All of them are Skirmish Cav variant. We have 7 Glade Guard. Half of them have Starfire Shafts, half don't. Then we have Eternal Guard, War Dancers, Azrai Spears, and Tzeentch charging straight up. Handgunner is going to reap a deadly toll on these guys as they walk up. A lot of fire onto these guys. Silver Shields helping quite a bit, but not enough. And the Shade Wraith Gunner is shooting at Tzeentch. That's okay damage, but they should probably focus on the Archers. The Archers are going to win this game, not Tzeentch. So you got to take them out. Vampire Coast hate Archers. As you can see, those red arcs getting dangerously close to the Shade Wraith Gunners, but for now it seems they're content to just shoot the front line, and this is what the Wood Elves want. They brought a spear front line. They're not trying to blitz through you, they're trying to just make sure you don't mess with their archers. They are super happy to let their archers shoot. They're trusting they'll get more damage out than you, and already you can see 3 of those handgun mobs are less than half HP. Other spears moving up to make sure the animated hulks stay back. The Skirmish Cav, the Glade Guard, just doing a little bit of damage here and there. Now, Tzeentch needs to realize that she's the one getting shot, needs to accept that and back off. Getting into range of extra handgunners is going to be a little dangerous. Carronade's firing at, I don't really know what. It looks like they're shooting at Skirmish Cav, trying to get rid of the mobility presence. I don't hate that. That's fine. You're worried about the Glade Riders getting around your sides and harassing your backline. That is completely fine, but yeah. Shade Wraith Gunners must have taken a volley from Glade Guard while I wasn't looking, because they are all of a sudden close to dead. Ooh, no, actually it might have just been Melkoth's from Tzeentch, who does use her summon as Slaanesh uses her summon, so both sides playing the same game, pretty much. Their front lines are both sacrifices just to keep their back lines shooting, but I just think the Wood Elves will win if the game is all about shooting. Lamper's Revenge on a free and clear path in. If some Starfire Shafts can take a second to shoot at them, that will be pretty big damage. As yeah, now the Shade Wraith Gunners are in range of some of those archers, so we can see these Glade Guard firing in. Melkoth's also going to take them out, so say goodbye to the Shade Wraiths. That's a lot of the coast's advantage in the shooting battle taken down. And the coast has absolutely slaughtered the Wood Elf front line. The Wood Elf front line's feeling pretty bad. The Glade Riders are also feeling pretty bad, but look at the archers. Of the 7 archers, 6 of them are still full HP, and 1 is about a third, as Lamper's Revenge are looking to die for it. War Dancers and Tzeentch trying to peel for that. Cannons are now trying to finish the attack onto Tzeentch, which is solid. If you've committed this much, I mean, you need to finish off Tzeentch, otherwise none of it was worth it. You can at least make the Wood Elf's leadership a little bit worse. Damn Knight's Errant Summon is out. If it could charge into some of these clumped up Glade Guard. Now, I've mostly been singing the Wood Elf's praises this game. This is bad. They have 3 pockets of double archers rather than a line of archers. So if these Knights Errant hit anything, they're going to get a 2-for-1 shutdown. Because anywhere they go, they're going to hit 2 archers at once. So that's pretty brutal. Glade Riders are going to try and peel, but there's no stopping these undead Knights of Bretonnia. And once they get their Frostbite on you, you're going nowhere. See, now 2 archers are mucked up in these Ghost Knights. And that's a little extra bad. But the archers have moved up. They're in range of the cannons. And now the cannons are going down. Now imagine, we still have some frontline troops. So imagine if the frontline fight was going on out here instead of here. The archers, instead of standing here, would be standing like here. And then they'd be out of range and the cannons could still fire for free. But taking the engagement here means those archers can get in range without much sacrifice. So that's why I say that. It's not just like a small thing. It actually changes how the entire battle might go. But the cannons are still trying to finish off Tzeentch real quick. She's a teeny tiny little target. So having teeny tiny little target problems. One of the cannons is dead. Coast is starting to fall behind. Unbalanced power, and that is with a faked Damn Knights Errant still around. We have some War Dancers in the distance that can come back. Still a lot of Glade Guard. Not a lot of ammo on them, but they don't need too much more ammo. It's not like there's double Rotting Leviathan running around or something. It's a Carronade that is just about dead. Celostra, who only has 5,000 HP total. And then zombies. Ooh, a hand cannon. You want to see a Glade Rider die? That was pretty fun. Charge bonus keeps him in it. For now. Pretty nice tide call down from Celostra as she does her best to duck, dive, dip, dodge, and duck, and dive, and dodge, and duck. And then dive, and then dodge. Army losses does hit. I would definitely agree. GG Wood Elves. That was a pretty tactical game. I liked that. It wasn't the most high octane because they're both shooting factions, so it's not like, holy fuck, the handgun mobs are flanking! There wasn't a lot of flanking, but it was a lot of decision making. And the decision making was very consequential. Like, the Shade Wraith Gunner shooting Drycha instead of shooting at the archers was pretty consequential. Not being able to finish off that Lord Snipe attempt was quite brutal, and then where the frontline fight probably lost Grimbat the game. Now, as I did mention, I'm not trying to say that Grimbat played like shit and Sigvald played perfect. Really, those two mistakes were all I saw. Right? Where the fight took place and what your targeting was. Those were the only mistakes. Sigvald grouped up some of his archers and they got pretty badly punished by the Damn Knight's Errand. It just wasn't enough to like swing the entire game around, but both sides makes mistakes. I think Sigvald played better and I think he won, so there's that, but it wasn't a stomp. It got kind of close. Because Drycha did almost die, and if Drycha died, a lot more of that front line would have broke a lot faster. Especially if the Shade Wraith Gunners were still alive at that point, then they could have just routed everything ad nauseum. Will we see any Empire tonight? Apparently yes. The Cheese Man led it through versus Heisenberg. Rush Wood Elves with deckhands? See, Rinrin's Orb, you might be thinking about it the wrong way though. The point isn't for the deckhands mobs to do damage as I load up a game between Father Ramsey and Heisenberg. The point isn't for the deckhands mob to do damage. The point is for the fight to take place out of Wood Elf Archer range, but in Vampire Coast cannon and deck gunner range. Because the deck gunners and the cannons have a way longer range than the archers. So they didn't want the fight to happen at their front door, and then it did. So then the archers could trade with the deck gunners honestly. You don't want to take an honest fight. You have increased range. So you want to do the thing where you're the big brother holding your hand out and holding the little brother back, and he's swinging but he can't quite hit you because you have longer arms, right? That's your whole thing. Because the deck gunners and the cannons can't outshoot 7 Glade Guard if they're in range to shoot. That's just never going to happen. So the Coast wanted the fight to take place far away. So their artillery would have an advantage. That's what I'm talking about. The deckhands mobs, they're not going to beat the Eternal Guard in melee. They're not going to. That's never going to happen. But that's not the point. You just want the fight to happen far away from you. You don't want to be near that shit. All right. Ogres versus Beastmen. Very different vibe from our last game. 2 Lead Belchers, double Crushers, double Sabertusk packs, 5 Nobblar Trappers, 2 Nobblars regular, and then we have a Great Maw Caster with Troll Guts and a Firebelly with Burning Head. You know, aside for Beastmen, Ungor Spearman Herd across the front line, pretty standard stuff. 4 Centaurs with Throwing Axes, triple Minotaurs with Great Weapons, some Centaurs of Tzeentch, looks like 2, and then a Deathcaster. Oof. Just Spirit Leech. Gonna be hard to get through all that healing, but I suppose if the caster has to heal himself instead of the Crushers, that's a win, right? Centaurs get a nasty charge onto Nobblar Trappers, but the Sky Striders get a better charge onto the Centaurs. And that is a very expensive unit to lose this early on. The Beastmen are not going to be loving that. Burning Head goes through the the Beastmen front lines. But these Crushers are doing some nice backline peel, while the Lead Belchers dare the Centaurs with Throwing Axes to keep their distance and keep getting shot. So good early start here for the Ogres. But if the Minotaurs get a good fight against the Crushers who are caught out of position, they'll take out an extremely expensive unit, so Father Ramram has the better units, but they need to be handled with care or they will die quickly. Like we can see up here, the Sky Striders, exactly what we were just worried about happened. Minotaurs got to charge in and they are slamming these guys as the Massacre is popped to give them more damage, but they're trying to run away anyway as the Minotaurs keep hitting them in the back. Other Crushers, a less devastating fight. The Minos didn't get as quite of an impactful charge, but they are still fighting in front of 2 Throwing Axes, so these are going to be 2 disastrous fights for the Ogres, I have to imagine. I'm very concerned about the prospects, but it looks like they did turn it around. Some Lead Belcher fire over here I thought I saw. Sabertusk Pack's countercharge, so that's going okay. If these, if the Sky Striders can get onto this caster for free, that could be GG lights out. As the caster just stops in front of him like, what? Why are you taking this fight? You don't want this fight! Oh god, he's frostbitten, he can't move now! A big whoopsie from the Beastmen player, as the Beastmen are getting really good engagements across the map. The Crushers are both taking a ton of damage. Overall, things are going great, but accidentally just throwing your caster and Lord into the Sky Striders is going to be something he wants back. He's going to go, hey bro, can we have a redo? I think I lagged out. My brother was playing on my computer. I got a phone call from my mom. As the Great Brave Shaman of Death is just gonna fucking die. Troll Guts is out to heal the Sky Striders a little bit. Minotaurs do come over to peel from both sides. They are coming in, but they rout that Deathcaster as the Firebelly helps finish him off. The Lead Belchers are firing at point blank range, trying to keep that guy routing. Game is not over for the Beastmen. They still have a lot of Centaurs with good advantage. Their Minotaurs, while wounded, have gotten a ton of value out, and one of the Crushers is extremely low. There it is, almost dead. Those Sky Striders did get a nice heal, and they're gonna finish the job on the Brave Shaman to death. That might be GG, because I mean, Beastmen hate losing their Lord as much as like Skaven and Greenskins do. But oop, the Sky Strider's not going to commit to it. A little worried about getting rear charged by these Minos and getting kited by throwing X all the time. So they're just going to hope that Great Brave Shaman is wounded enough to route off the map while these Minotaurs fight to the death. Throwing X is running up to help them out. So the Beastmen scrapping back. The Beastmen have played a really good game outside of that Lord Whoopsie. Besides the Lord Whoopsie, this has actually been pretty solid from them. So they can take a lot of positives from it. Next time, just don't do that with your Lord. And he is back. Able to cast a Spirit Leech, but he immediately throws one onto the Saber-Tooth Pax that's rampaging straight towards him, which I appreciate that. Like, he does not want to be caught out here by the Saber-Tooth Pax, so he needs to just use a Spirit Leech to save himself. That is super worth it. I like that. As the Sky Striders are nearing their heal cap, they're not quite there yet. Mino's going to get one last charge onto them before they break again, but that charge bonus should help quite a lot. Throwing Axes continuing to shadow the Sky Striders as another Massacre gives them some buffs. But there we go. The bounce power is equalized. It was turning against the Beastmen for a while. But one Crusher is almost off the map. Saber-Tooth Packs aren't feeling too good. The Noblar reserves are running low. And we do have a Slaughtermaster at full HP that's holding up the balance of power by quite a lot, but it is fraudulent. As a full health Slaughtermaster is still not really a threat, especially when you have Spirit Leech on cooldown as long as you keep that guy alive. Sky Strider's knocked out of this game, down to 2 models. Even if they come back, they have such reduced effectiveness that you think the Centaurs can take them. And all we need for a Beastman win is for this guy to stay alive. If they have Spirit Leech, they win at this point. Because they're getting a little low. They're getting a little low. Might not be able to take the Slaughtermaster and the Firebelly with just Centaurs throwing X's with no ammunition or something. But, I mean, with Spirit Leech around, you can definitely kill him. And that's still a maybe. I mean, even without Spirit Leech, maybe these healthy Centaurs can take him down. First Spirit Leech is out onto the Firebelly, who does chuck a very nice 3-for-1 Burning Head down some wounded Ungor Spearmen to get rid of all of those units. Get rid of a bunch of nice, cheap spears in the late game. I still don't think it's going to matter, though. Look, even these super wounded Minotaurs aren't giving up the fight. They're giving the Slaughtermaster hell. And the balance of power is starting to realize the reality of the situation, as there goes the Slaughtermaster. If he routes, army losses will hit, most likely. It's GG. Father Ramsey with a good attempt. He went to the Flying Taco school of how to play ogres with the Crushers. I'm not a Crusher believer, so I'm just gonna be over here being a hater, but Heisenberg, you got a little risky there. You got a little risky. That's not allowed. You can't do that with your Lord, buddy. But yeah, the Minotaur engagements were fantastic. 1900 value, 2900 value, 1300 value. They got the charges on the Crushers they needed. Hey, Bubba's Big Blast. Alright, I'm just talking to Grimbat. Grimbat said I'm a fat bastard, and I said, hey, inappropriate. How are we doing on the bracket? I'm gonna just check in on that. Oh, wow, someone's already done with all 4 games. Everybody else is on their 4th game, so we'll do one more replay, and then I probably have to do, admin things. We haven't seen the Cheese Man. We have maybe seen Johnny Cash. I don't remember. I'm making sure we catch everybody at least once. Okay, I think we've seen Johnny Cash, but we'll definitely catch him before the end of the night. So I'm going to do the Cheese Man replay. here quick. Okay. Okay. Heisenberg versus the Cheeseman. Heisenberg with our first and probably only game of the Empire tonight. They don't usually get through the pick and ban phase, but we'll see. Triple Demigryph Knights with Halberd, one of which is the Royal Altdorf Gryphites. Triple Hockland Long Rifles. A Firecaster in the sky, Marcus Wolfhard on the ground with only his net, and then a front line of Spearmen and Swordsmen. No cavalry for the Empire. Well, I suppose, yeah, they have Demigryph Knights. I was thinking of Empire Knights, duh. On the other side, for the Lizardmen, we have Temple Guard, Croxagores, Red Crested Skinks, Triple Salamander Hunting Pack, Lord Croak, and Gorok. Gonna charge in. Sacred Croxagores getting sniped out by a lot of Hockland Long Rifles. You're about to see the power of buffed up Demigryph Knights that are charging into the Cauldron Riders. Yeah. Demigryph Knights charge completely blocked by their own swordsmen, so that is a little blessing for the Lizardmen. Just a quick thing for anybody who cares. The Salamander Hunting Packs are moving up and stuff, but the Lizardmen definitely needed to taper their advance. You'll notice when I set up my armies, you might wonder why I do certain things. I'll check a unit's speed, and let's say I have 3 Red Crested Skinks and 2 Temple Guard, like this setup, right? See how the Temple Guard aren't here yet? And already the Red Crested Skinks are in the front line. If you have 3 Red Crested Skinks, they're faster. You probably want to deploy something like this. The blue is the Temple Guard, the green is the Red Crested Skinks. Because they're faster, so by the time you hit the front line, everybody's going to hit at the same time. So you want to stagger your slowest infantry ahead of your other infantry. Now you might think to yourself, well, I want to get there as fast as possible. Let's say the enemy is shooting me the whole time. It's still worth it to take the extra couple volleys of damage and hit at the same time than it is to stagger in, but take less damage from the Hockland Long Rifles, because, I mean, these Demigryph Knights could probably charge out and hit these Red Crested Skinks, and the Temple Guard are nowhere nearby to even threaten being there. The Salamander Hunting Packs aren't quite in range to shoot yet, so it is important for everything to hit at the same time. Cauldron Riders did okay versus Demigryph Knights with halberds on top of the swordsmen. Honestly, thought it would go worse for them, so that's okay. Oh, the Empire betrayal! The Burning Head curves into multiple spearmen as Lord Croak just turns it towards him. He's like, allow me to do a little bit of trolling. As a big old delivery of pizza comes in, the spearmen are going to dodge it. The Hockland Long Rifles are not so lucky, however. And that is actually a lot of damage onto them as Marcus Wolfhard's first net comes in. But the Salamander Hunting Packs are going to try and peel away that Bright Wizard. You might be the mage of fire magic, but those lizards don't care. They'll still spit on you all the same. Temple Guard and Red Crested Skinks will do quite well in melee combat against spearmen. That should be a big win for them. As the Salamander Hunting Packs, I don't know if they want to focus on spearmen. They don't do much damage to those. I'm generally a Salamander hater overall, but they should be focusing on the Demigryph Knights where they can. If they can get in range of the Hockland Long Rifles, maybe them, but we can see that they do very pitiful damage to infantry when they shoot at them. It's just garbage, so they do have to turn and fire at the Demigryph Knights if they're going to hope to get anything done. Their missiles do have a considerable amount of bonus versus large on them, which is huge. Gorok is trying to catch Marcus, and Marcus realizes this, starts to run for his life. Is he okay, nice job, Gorok. Get shot in the face and then raise your shield, you stupid bastard. Whatever. Another pizza gets delivered as Hockland Long Rifles continue to try and take out the Lord Croak. The Salamanders continue to try and punish spearmen, but that is just not their forte. 2 of the Hockland Long Rifles still very healthy and online. Another one has 32 out of 32 models, just low HP, but they are still technically full power, and the Demigryph Knights are sweeping through the back of these Salamanders, so that'll take them down quite quickly. Gorok is getting kited, which is a thing that happens to Gorok quite a lot in his life. That's why I generally don't rate him highly as a lord. And whenever they buff his melee stats, I'm like, that's not going to make him good. And people are like, why not? Well, if you can't catch anything, they're just going to ignore you. Croak delivers another pizza, killing off all the spearmen that were attacking him, but he does not kill off the Royal Altdorf Gryphites that are going to cleave his ass to death for real this time. Bounce power shifts heavily against the lizards. And Gorok is tanky, he is courageous, but he's not unbreakable, so army losses is one of the easiest ways to take him out. As the Hawk and Long Rifles, yeah, they're going to start shooting at Temple Guard. That's a nice, big chunk of balance of power you can pretty easily take out with Hawk and Long Rifles and just stop the not prolong the inevitable and just end these games, yeah. It's a combo versus Marcus lore. Wasn't Marcus all about, like, hunting down Nakai, or is that just the campaign? Is that not lore accurate? I don't know Marcus Wolfheart's lore that well. You ever thought salamanders are the best? No, but, like, do note that I am a salamander hater. I am always shit-talking salamanders, so, like, grain of salt. Local salamander hater still hates salamanders. Shocker. At this point, the Empire victory is inevitable, as we just wait for army losses to realize what the caster realized 45 minutes ago. There we go. GG. La GG. La GG. Let's check in on the bracket quick. Boom! Everyone's pretty much done. Except for allegedly me. My stand-in. Johnny Cash is still fighting somebody. So for Heisenberg, good win. Good win, good dub. Deadwing Knights did pretty darn good. Hawk on Long Rifles did pretty darn good. No complaints there for the Cheese Man. Gorok still sucks, I'm afraid. Salamanders also had a very hard time getting anything done. As my kitty cat joins the party. Hi, kitty cat. How you doing, bud? So there was our Empire game for the night. Hey, Mr. Cat, get down. Trying to get up on my screen and get all up in my face. Let's do some Dark Elves with Mr. Johnny Cash. Mr. Cash. I believe there's 2 games left in the round 4 before we know if we have any tiebreakers or not. Sorry, I got distracted reading chat. For the Dark Elves, we have Malice, Darkblade, Sorceress of Fire with Burning Head, Doomfire Warlocks, which were recently buffed, Dark Riders, Dark Rider Peter Crossbows, Triple Dark Shards, and then Blackheart Corsairs, and some Crows of Cain and other Harpies flanking. For the Vampire Coast, frontline, Animated Hulks, Hand Cannons, Hand Gunners, bunch of Deckhands mobs, 1 cannon, Lamper's Revenge, Shade Wraith Gunners, and Celastra on foot with Crab and Tidecall. Skirmish Cav gonna have a very bad time versus the Vampire Coast as they get outshot by standing infantry, and oh boy, there are a lot of standing infantry. Huge Burning Head's gonna take out 1 handgun mob. Do I see 2? Do I see 2? Oh my goodness gracious! 1.5. Still pretty good. We take those. Blackheart Corsairs are taking a mighty punishment on their way in. The Crows of Cain plus the other Harpies are in. A Crab Summon is going to try and peel the Crows of Cain, while the Lamper's Revenge try and get rid of these other Harpies and save the Shade Wraith Gunners. Vampire Coast very far ahead on the balance of power, as this Carronade has gotten almost 1,000 value shooting Malice in the face. And Animated Hulks plus Hand Cannons trying to stop the Dark Elf Cavalry. This is usually how this matchup goes. The start gets very, very spooky for the Dark Elves, but it evens out as they start taking out some of those deadly ranged units. As you can see, the Shade Wraith Gunners are deleted, so that is 1,000 gold off the board. Carronade goes, that's another 600. 650? 700? I think it's 650. Doesn't matter. Point being, they're going to start evening up the balance of power, and Malice can transform to get a full heal when he needs it. Doomfire Warlocks did not have a good first charge, though. They are retreating in a bit of disgrace as the Harpies complete their missions and a Rotted Promethean Summon falls away, so Things getting a little bit better here for the Dark Elves as time goes on. Another big burning head from the Dark Elves out as well. Half HP off of a handgun mob. Unfortunately, it does not curve back into those deckhands, so not as effective as it could have been. The Damn Knight's Errant Summon is out as per usual. It's probably going to charge straight into Dark Shards like it tends to, but it needs orders. That is always the hardest part, is giving orders to those units just as they come out, because you're probably busy doing other stuff. You tell your lady to cast it, then you get distracted doing other things. Crows of Cain fight hand cannons briefly as Dark Riders try and rejoin the fight. Neither of them feeling too good. Crows of Cain do get some regeneration when they're in melee, so maybe that is enough to hold them on. Damn Knight's Errant get locked up by these Harpies, so unfortunately that is going to be a bit of a wasted summon. A whoopsie the Vampire Coast will want back. We have some animated hulks in the trees. Gonna recharge Dark Riders now, but they're a little late to the show. It looks like the Vampire Coast is getting their ankles broken a little bit. Looks like the fight is just getting too spread out and chaotic for them, because they were doing super well at the start when everything was planned. But once it got spread out and a little crazy, I'm noticing more slips from them. I mean, Hulk's trying to run down some archers, just be a bit of a nuisance as handguns get extra shots in on the sides, but Dark Riders and Black Corsairs eating those shots easily, while the crossbows take out the animated Hulks. The Dark Elves are still clawing back the bounds of power, all the while Malice has not yet transformed into Tzarkan. There he goes. Bounce power is back to dead even now that that is the case. That is a Promethean summon. That is a Damn Knight's Errant summon, so the bounce power is going to look even better when those fade away. As another Burning Head clears out more zombies. The Dark Elves start to slowly take the lead. Tzarkan does not do magic damage, so Celestra will still get her 50% physical resistance, or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, 55. Still, though, with only 4,000 HP and he has a weapon strength of 500, she is going to die rather quickly, physical resistance or not. And the Dark Elves are just clearing through them. There goes that Rotting Promethean summon. Reaper of Souls hurting Celestra a bit while Malice starts to ride her down. There's not a lot of support for her left either. We just have zombies, animated Hulks. I don't know where the Lampeter's Revenge ended up, but it looks like hell. They died somewhere. I don't hate Malice to help from insta losing the Lampreys, but holy moly, where does HP go? Carronades. Carronades are spoopy. I don't know how much left the coast can do here. The Dark Elves have a ton of archers. They have Tzarkan. They have enough cavalry to sweep up the last remains of these little guys. A Burning Head trying to get all the way over to those deckhands mobs. I don't hate the hustle. Could have been a little more patient with it, but what the hell. It's a party, might as well enjoy it. As triple Dark Shards firing at these animated Hulks, delete them. Grimbat's gonna throw in the towel. I have not seen an update yet. On that final round. Mr. Cash, good win. Good win. Yeah, Dark Shard's got a lot of value, as they tend to in this matchup. Harpies also did great. Really good flank from them. Take out two very expensive pieces. Handguns and hand cannons did alright. Shade Wraith Gunners got shut down pretty quick by the Harpy charge. Cannon got a lot of value out, even in its brief life. Dark Elves versus Vampire Coast. That's a crazy looking build. We already cast that, but from the other perspective. We're just doing some cleanup. We have that from the other perspective, so I'm gonna just delete it. Johnny Cash on the Dwarves versus the Vampire Coast. Okay. That's a crazy build. Father Ramsey versus King of the Hoots. That is a lot of Chosen versus Globes. I imagine I'd know how that goes, but I'm not sure. And then Greyheart versus Falling Star on Kislev. Okay, we still got some crazy ones in the mix. I'm just checking in on the bracket. I don't want too many people waiting for me. I'm like casting games and like, bro, I want to go to bed. So if I have it right, Surprise and Mihai still playing. Okay. So I gotta do some stuff. Come with me so you're not bored, but I gotta do some stuff quick. So if you refresh the bracket, I have no idea if Johnny Cash won these games or not, because he got the saddened. But mostly Cloudy had to drop, so I know he won that. I know he won that. He had a bye round here. So I think Johnny Cash is actually 3-0 right now. I think if he beats Mihai, he has a 4-0. Because he is bye round, so the sign-up sheet's going to look a little fake, but I just want to check some things. Grimbat has 2, and they said they had 2. Mihai, where did you lose? They lost to Greyheart right away. Okay. Greyheart, you have 2 hits. Is that true? 1, lost to Surprise, lost to not Father Ram. Johnny Cash and B6 A6 checking in, lost to Greyheart, 1, lost to King of the Hoots. And then there's my stand-in, which I had a quote-unquote had a bye round. But I, quote-unquote, played for mostly Cloudy. Because of how bye rounds work. So wait, how did I do? 1, 2. It might come down to Johnny Cash versus Fireball. Fireball is me. All right. So Johnny Cash confirms, like literally right now, Johnny Cash confirms a 4-0. So I just need to figure out if Fireball Phoenix also got a 4-0. And then we can get finals going, and then I'll get back to the replays. Tournament admin is fun! Cool. And I don't need this bracket anymore. So we have a finalist starting up now, and we can get back to our games because I'm done doing tournament admin stuff. Let's do it. Grimbat versus Father Ramsey. Demons of Chaos versus Vampire Coast. Murphalurf. That's a name from the ancient text. How you doing? Hope you are well. Hope your wrist is good and your life is better. For the front line, we have Zombie Pirate, Deckhands, Mobs, and Handgunners. Pretty classic for the Grimbat build. Carronades, Lamprey's Revenge, Animate Hulks, all the good shit. And Celestra. Father Ramsey, anytime. You know we love you. You're great. Any Skaven player is great in my mind. On the demon side, we have Khorne, who is going to have a fantastic time if he can find Solastra. His magic damage versus her will be very good, and then of course the silence is amazing. Fiends on the flanks, a bunch of Furies and Screamers, Blue Horrors across the front line, though the Shade Wraith Gunners discourage buff already getting them to Demonic Disability Crumble, and then we have a Herald of Tzeentch with pink and blue fires. Blue Horrors trading damage with the handgun mobs. I think a pink fire also softened them up a little bit, but the flank's a little delayed. The frontline fight already happening as the flanks are starting to collapse now. I suppose that's less bad though, because the Blue Horrors are just trading fire. They're not actually trying to get into melee with the Vampire Coast. It's a little less bad. It's Khorne and the Fiends trying to get through one side. They're also trying to creep around this back line. They will find a Lamprey's Revenge waiting for them though, and a Damn Knight's Errant Summon. Pure magic damage since they are ghosty ghosts. Very good into the demons. Chaos Furies land on the Carronades, and we need a quick rear charge in from the Damn Knights Errant. Doing good. Good stuff for them. They'll take those Furies out nice and quick, and things are going to shit for the demons pretty fast. Blue Horror frontline got entirely massacred, and what is this? The Herald of Tzeentch is stuck above the hand cannons. Oh no! Dodge! Dodge! He goes right back above them, so it gets harder for them to shoot. They have to turn and fire. Meanwhile, Chaos Furies are taking out the Shade Wraith Gunners elsewhere, but Fiends are getting slapped in the woods by the animated Hulks and Lamprey's Revenge. Not even close. The hand cannons chase off the Herald of Tzeentch. Thankfully for him, he didn't take too much more damage. He did get to safety. But yeah, the Fiends not having a good time in these slow grind fights with the crabs. It's not a winner for them. Khorne got close to Solastra. He does get peeled by the Damn Knights Errant, who have 30 seconds left of life. That's actually a dangerous amount for Khorne. Again, he doesn't want to fight these Ghost Knights for too much longer. Solastra keeps artificially inflating the bounce power with 2 summons out on the field right now, so that will get a little better. And Khorne tries to mitigate some of that bounce power by summoning his own Fleshhound group as well. He's just stalling for those Damn Knights Errant to run out of time. Speaking of out of time, the Fiends on the high ground are out of time. They officially die off. And the coast is rallying some handgunners to take a look at this situation. Damn Knights Errant fade away, freeing up Khorne at last. Looks like the Rotting Prometheans are close behind them with only 10 seconds left of life. And this is really a Hail Mary here for the demons. After those guys fade, they have to kill Solastra. It's their only chance to get back into this game. Nice pink fire onto the handgun mobs, but another handgun mob continues to poke down the Herald of Tzeentch, who tries to get away before he Demonic Disability crumbles. Can't let himself get too low. And Khorne is here. No more spells for you, Solastra. Not as long as he's around. He brought his silence, right? Yeah, he did. Nice. Lamprey's Revenge coming over menacingly as the demons try and quickly finish off Solastra. Leadership's getting a little low. Some Fiends are even going to peel off and charge on Lamprey's Revenge to stop them briefly. But I mean, it is briefly. These Fleshhounds are fake. If I'm going to mention all the Vampire Coast stuff that's fake, I do need to also mention the Fleshhounds will fade away soon. Fiends are dying of their own volition. And where are those last Fiends? The last Fiends also stuck fighting animated Hulks. Ooh, but it's only 2 of them. Where are the rest of the models? They're over here in the main fight. Really good blue fire cast onto Slaanesh, takes her down below half HP. But there are so many Coast guns left. Look at all these guns. Animated Hulks, Lamprey's Revenge. Slaanesh not even that close to dead, as these guys just sit off to the side and shoot occasionally in here. Herald of Tzeentch stays so far away due to all the damage he's taken in this game. I think that is about it for the Demons of Chaos. Quick little bolt of change just to try and deny fate, but it's not going to do too much. Solastra throws out an Army Losses summon, just trying to bump up the bounce power that little bit more to trigger Army Losses so you don't actually have to win the game. You can just watch the game go away from you. As the game-ending blue fire that'll probably kill Solastra. Oh my god, it actually is going to kill her. She's going to crumble to death. But Army Losses will save her, because her leadership goes positive because the enemy army is dying. It's a win from Grimbat. We cast 2 of their losses, but here's a W that they fought hard and earned. Father Ramsey trying to make the demons work against the coast. They will not. Fiends are overrated. Fiends suck. Fiends are garbage. GG's, lads. GG's. Alright. We've cast everybody's games. Now I only cast the games I want to cast. We took a look at this. I said, sure. Took a look at that. I said, sure. Took a look at that. I said, sure. Fine. Just because I want to watch Poison Wind Globes kill these Tzeentch guys. That's all I want. That looked fun. Stinky Britonia. Do I have other Heisenberg games? We've cast other Heisenberg games. I'm gonna skip that one just because I don't want to cast Stinky Britonia tonight. That is a lot of Slayers, but it's also versus a lot of Slaanesh, so I'll allow it. You come from a Pathfinder adventure. What did you miss? Manuel? Roll for discovery. Tell me your result out of 20. I'm waiting for that roll, sir. The Slayer in me seeks death, says Surprise, as he has Doom Seekers, Slayers, Slayer Pirates. The Arwars all in the center, Ungrim Iron Fist, and Gargrim Iron Fist, his son. Almost everyone in this matchup is nearly nude. That's actually true. On the other side, we have Demonettes, Exalted Demonettes, Fiends, a Herald of Slaanesh, and Chaos Furies. As the Demonettes get in there. Manuel, give me the goddamn roll! I'm waiting! I got my DM book open, I'm waiting. The Slayers definitely getting the death they see because the Fiends roll straight through them onto the Slayer Pirates who fire their pistols in melee just to try and get something done, but man, those health bars are shrinking fast. And I mean fast. 3, Illuminor got hit by a mammoth, did I get it right? No. 3, you find a pewter cup and a broken fork. So Gargrim gets to engage some Fiends next to his long-drawn Slayer Pirate brethren. Doing great damage to those Fiends. And while Slaanesh did great on the charge, things are starting to look a little spooky on the other end, and Exalted Demonette is about to fade away. Monica's ability will take them soon. Meanwhile, these other Slayers are getting messed up. This area is going great for Slaanesh. This area is getting a little spookier, as we have some Fiends about to leave the battlefield, Furies and Exalted Demonettes as well. That is a summoned Chaos Fury. It is not real. It cannot hurt you. Surprise. It's okay. We love you anyway. We just enjoy your company. And your Discord profile pick is 6 as hell. It's a great profile pick. Slayers continue to fight out. The Brotherhood of Grimnir, unfortunately for them, I mean, they won, but at what cost? As they are down to 11 models. A quick little spin to win, not gonna drown their shame. And the Bringer's Beguilement being full HP is very concerning, because they can actually do a lot of damage to Gargrim. Look at Gargrim just get taken down. Look at that HP falling. He was full HP a second ago. He needs a spin. Does he have his spin? He does not have his spin. So he's just stuck in there. He lost another 1,000 HP while Ungrim looks on just sad. Sadly watching his son get torn apart. He's just like, the Slayer in me seeks oaths to take for Gargrim. For Gargrim! And he charges in, and he's gonna die, and all the dwarves are gonna die because they don't know how to run a society without taking goddamn Slayer oaths. Down goes Gargrim, son of Ungrim. Ungrim will soon follow, but the Slayers are gonna get one last little hurrah. Doomseeker's in here, spinning and winning. Nice big damage onto them as the Herald of Slaanesh is entirely fucked off. She wants nothing to do with this. She's like, yeah, whatever, that's not my problem. Not looking good for the Dwarves? Yeah, not really. Demonettes are pretty good. Even though their armor piercing is wasted on the Slayer build, I mean, they just have really high melee stats. Man, these Slayers are taking that whole don't die thing pretty seriously. They were taking a ton of damage and then just kind of stopped. And now the Furies are starting to lose leadership. Oh no, army losses is happening. Whatever shall we do if there's army losses? As these Doomseekers charge up another Whirlwind of Death? Oh, they have no cast of it? Oh. I honestly thought they'd do that every so often, not just stop for no reason. Here's the last of the Brotherhood of Grimnir. And he's dead. As soon as I notice him, he dies. Slayer counts are getting low. Soon it'll just be Ungrim. 7 Slayers here, 2 Slayers over there. Now we play at ×2 speed. Ungrim all of a sudden starts taking damage, and he's gonna die to demonets. He's surrounded. He's surrounded. He's totally gonna die. But does he die in time? Give Ungrim a Mortis Engine effect. Call it bristly hair. And he dies. For the Slayers, mixed damage value based on the fights they got in, but overall not enough to overcome Siegfried's Demonettes. Demonettes doing great, Chaos Heroes did fine, Fiends did fine as well, and the Herald chilled on the sidelines. Like a cheating bitch. We're gonna do the other game that could be a one-sided stomp. Because I don't know how double chosen Tzeentch Blob defeats Skaven. That don't seem right. Maybe I'll be wrong. I'm not wrong, but maybe I'll be wrong. It's impossible. For the Skaven, 4 Rat Ogres, 2 Doomflayers, one of which is a Dwarf Thing Menace, 2 Poisonwind Globes, then some Night Runners, Clan Rats, and Skaven Slaves. We have the Warlord and Packmaster Brood Buddies, and a Flensing Ruin caster with Howling Warp Gale, which if he can manage to not die to the Soul Grinder, his Flensing Ruins are going to have amazing value, because on the other side, we have an Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, 2 Zongors, 2 Chosen of Tzeentch, the Severed Claw, Village the Curseling with Treason of Tzeentch, Blue Fire, and Infernal Gateway, a War Shrine of Tzeentch, and a Soul Grinder. So a lot of single entities. As the Book of Secrets lowers the speed of the Warlord, makes him weak to fire damage as a blue fire is coming in. Rear shot in from the Halberd hero, the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch. He's got to run Rally and Shock Collar, giving him extra leadership as he starts to run away. 105 speed, and the Packmaster is going to be stuck fighting the Exalted Hero all alone. In comes the Dwarf Thing Menace and the other Doomflayers onto the Zongors. We'll get good damage out of those guys. And the Warlord, as soon as he rallies, he should loop back to his own forces, and the Packmaster can also get back to his own bros, but that was a hell of a Lord Snipe attempt onto the Warlord. He needs to just go get to safety and heal up. Already that Zongor over there is dead. Zongor is dead as hell. Surrounded, getting cleaved and churned up by the Dwarf Thing Menace. They want nothing to do with this, and they'll run away. The Soul Grinder is now firing at the Packmaster. The Warlord has to be careful to stay out of range of that Soul Grinder. Does not want to deal with that. As Poison Globes move up, they're going to fire at the Chosen. Do not fire right here. Right here is a very bad spot to fire. Do not fire there. Please don't fire at that. Fire at these. That's fine. Whee! Chosen! Little bit of friendly fire there. Some Night Runners ending up in melee is a bit of a whoopsie, so they'll want to back off and use their shots to probably hurt the Chaos War Shrine of Tzeentch. But the Globes are busy throwing away at the Chosen. Overcasted Flensing Ruin onto 2 very good targets, the Chaos War Shrine and Village. But also, honestly, the Severed Claw don't have that many models, so Flensing Ruin can do good damage to them too. And the Exalted Hero is flying right over the Flensing Ruin, so that's a big Flensing Ruin cast. How much did you get off that? 400 and climbing. We like to see that. Dwarf Thing Menace and the other guys moving up as the Warlord has come back to the fight. Maybe a little premature as the Soul Grinder immediately focuses onto him again. But the Packmaster looks like he wants to go do something. He's going to attack the Soul Grinder so he can't keep throwing shots at the Warlord himself. Globe still throwing in on the massive Tzeentch Blob. They have been nerfed several times over the many months and years. They still obliterate cavalry in one shot, but they actually take multiple volleys to kill Chosen. They still do great damage against Chosen, don't get me wrong. It just actually takes them a little while now. They're going to get the job done. Tzeentch somehow staying pretty even in the balance of power, which is a little shocking to me. As the Warlord gets Book of Secrets, that does end up being Enfeebling Foe, not Fate of Buna. Man, if there was ever a time for the Book of Secrets to be a Fate of Buna, it would be casting it onto a Warlord, but the Warlord is overextending a little bit. He's tanky, he's a decent duelist, but I mean, this guy took a shellacking at the start of the game. Let the man get some space. As the 2v1 on top of Spears is going to fight back against the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch. A big old Infernal Gateway trying to kill off all the Skaven in this area. But both the Chosen of Tzeentch have routed off. The globes took out a ton of damage onto them. More sniping onto the Warlord. The Packmaster abandoned him! No! Don't leave him alone. Solo versus a halberd character. Warlord, no! He's gonna rout. Thankfully, if he routes, he'll run away to safety, but like, I don't like him taking damage regardless. Doomflayers surrounding the Soul Grinder with the help of a Packmaster, trying to snipe that thing out. In comes a blue fire onto the Warlord. Big old damage. He pops Rally to stay in the fight, runs over to support his troops. Rally applies to them too. The Exalted Hero of Tzeentch is chasing him down. Chaos War Shrine is shut down. No more extra buff spells for you, Village. Where's our next Cleansing Ruin? Could use that. As the Poison Globes throw at the Severed Claw and the Chaos War Shrine, take all that out. The Warlord is routed off by the Exalted Hero. It looks like the Exalted Hero is going to chase him. Gets kind of stuck in place. Flies up in the air, but with 95 speed versus the Warlord's 95, he is going to go catch him. So that's pretty bad for the Skaven. Overcast, no, Undercast. Undercast Cleansing Ruin onto Village is fine. So a lot of stuff is routing off. Soul Grinder looks like it is about to Demonic Instability crumble. But the Warlord dying. I've seen many a Skaven game where they just randomly decide to lose because their Lord died. I don't think this is one of them, because this should be in the bag. There are a lot of things that should be in the bag and then they're not. Hey, army losses take Tzeentch out as the Warlord survives! The Warlord survives, baby! He's back! He's even gonna rally. That's what's extra funny about it. GG. Wait, our finals is ready. Father Ram, his Warlord, ate all the damage in the world and kept on trucking. You'll love to see it. His globes, oof, insane value for the globes, killing those Chosen. King of the Hoot Hoots, it was a good attempt, but you can't bring in Chosen versus Skaven. They just don't like that. They take it as an offense. Okay. So what do we have? We have finals. That's the Kari? Versus double Charybdis? Okay. That's a finals worth casting. And then we have 4 more games. So 5 games left on the night. This is our finals though. The winner of this, both these players had a perfect 4-0 run through the regular bracket. And they had to do a tiebreaker. Seekfault on Nakari and Slaanesh against Johnny Cash with Marathi. Again, what in our legendary demons tournament we did for some fun content, Nakari teamed up with Marathi. Now we have Marathi versus Nakari. What's going on with everybody being lore thematic and having Nakari and Marathi hang out in the same circles? For the Dark Riders of Mr. Cash, we have double Charybdis, a tech invented originally by John F.B. And then triple Dark Shards, a bunch of Bleak Swords in the front line. No Dread Spears, my bad. More Dark Riders in the wings, some Harpies, including the Crows of Cain, and then Marathi with her Wand of Crydon bound ability, but then Melkoths and Doom and Darkness for actual spells. And this is pretty crafty. I'm going to slow motion this quick. Charybdis have a -8 leadership aura around them, and then Marathi's taking Doom and Darkness. You can do -26 leadership to stuff around Charybdis, and that could be really good against demonic units. But on the other side, for Slaanesh, we have Nakari, who immediately pavane some Dark Riders to their death against him in the Eternal Entourage. We have the Sibilant Slaughtercade for some disruption, Chosen of Slaanesh, and Chaos Warriors as the front line with the Mirror Guard and then some Chaos Furies. A very simple build. Nakari and his elite cav gonna charge around and get some good engagements. Meanwhile, the Chosen and extremely heavy armored front line will just grind and grind with the Dark Elves, providing the anvil for Nakari's hammer. And the Dark Riders shatter. They might even fully die. Nakari was hanging around him briefly. I think he wanted to see if they did die, would he get his big heal, but Not that he needed it, he's still like full HP. Alright, the parties are closing. Charybdis moving out to get something done while the Dark Shards continue to fire on all these Chaos Warriors. In comes the Sibilant Slaughtercade. As far as chariots go, they're pretty good. Sipa uses them all the time. They get stuck on a Dread Spear, that charge defense and charge reflection, immediately stopping them in their tracks, and the Charybdis is also going out for a bit of a hunt. Slamming down into those Sibilant Slaughtercade, anti-large going nuts, but in come the Eternal Entourage. Nakari's lurking in the distance too. Morathi's stuck fighting some Chaos Warriors. Slaanesh is going to want to get out of there. Is trying to path out, but those flyers are tough to get away from. Here's a big engagement. Nakari jumping in on the back line. These are just Dark Riders. Poor innocent Dark Riders that can't do shit about fighting the Eternal Entourage and Nakari, so they're going to immediately rout. As the Dark Shards turn and try and fire on Nakari, the Sibilant Slaughtercade is just doing its job and just being here, being a nuisance, mucking down all three Dark Shards so they can't shoot at Nakari while he's busy taking out the Dark Riders. And the Dark Riders are specifically trying to guard the Dark Shards and allow them to shoot. So these Chaos Furies and the Sibilant Slaughtercade messing with the Dark Elves game plan, really fucking up the synergy there as the Charybdis move into the back line to cause as much disruption as possible. Morathi probably needs to chuck out a Doom and Darkness as soon as possible onto these Chaos Furies, because look how low they already are. And it looks like she's doing it now. Nice big Doom and Darkness immediately takes out these Chaos Furies. The other ones are already at 17 leadership as the Charybdis is starting to charge in. They should be getting out of the Doom and Darkness soon. Unless it's like Soul Stealer and just applies to them constantly, I guess. Damn, I thought it was a circle they had to stay in. So those guys get to safety for now as Nakari is stuck fighting double Charybdis. That's not a fight Nakari can win. Morathi also joining up for the snipe. The Sibilant Slaughtercade are giving up nothing in the background, by the way, while Nakari already loses half his HP. Maybe closer to 2/3 as the Crypti continue to just tear this giant crab demon man apart. And Morathi's going to continue to chase him. 12 leadership. If Doom and Darkness was available, we just saw it wear off, so it's definitely a cooldown. But if it was available, Nakari actually would have started Demonic Instability crumbling there. But have we overextended? Is the tier 2 army ability of the Narcissism ready? Oh my god! A quarter of Morathi's HP gone in one shot as she gets rampaged back. Nakari's going to try and finish the job on her as the Eternal Entourage starts to surround. The Crows of Cain and the Crypti are diving back in to save Morathi. In the background, the Sibilant Slaughtercade continue to rip through the Dark Shards and just be a huge nuisance for them. But there we go. The Eternal Entourage surround Morathi, tear her to pieces, and the Dark Elves are all of a sudden without a lord. The Charybdi are just animals after all. They rout pretty quickly, especially without a lord, but they're getting so much damage onto Nakari that -8 leadership debuff is going to cause him to start Demonic Instability crumbling. Can he stop? He rallies as the other Charybdis is going to hit him back down to -39, back to +5. Okay, so that's a little fluctuating, huh? -39 back up to +5. A lot going on there as Nakari barely hangs on. Does get a heal from the Charybdis dying next to him. Oh no, it's still alive. It has 200 HP left. There, Nakari is going to get that big heal he desperately needed. Sweet Sorrow giving him a ton of vigor back, keeping his leadership high. Bounce power tipping dangerously far against the Dark Elves. I think they're about to army loss. They were unable to kill Nakari, and even if they had, there are so many Chaos Warriors and Chosen left to push these guys down. I don't think a Charybdis could carry this game as Dark Shards get a good shot on Nakari. Army losses was happening. It was blinking on their health bars, then it went away, but now it's back, and it's here to stay this time. Nakari survives, barely. For Johnny Cash, Morathi got kind of sniped by Chaos Furies, had to land in her own forces, and then she chased Nakari just like a little bit too far, got rampaged and instantly died. Both the Charybdis did well. Dark Shards just couldn't get rid of the Sibilant Slaughtercade, and that's how Sipa uses them against me too. They don't get a lot of value, but you saw they had such little HP left and they were still chilling. Their leadership is just really high. And that's really annoying to get out of your Dark Shards. The Chaos Furies did more damage than that. Chaos Warrior frontline just was a constant pressure you had to deal with. And Nakari and the Eternal Entourage getting 5,600 value combined is pretty huge. So Siegfault with Nakari will be winning this new player tournament. Honorable mention to Johnny Cash, had a hell of a run today. And bringing out double Charybdis in the finals is pretty chad. But it will not be enough. Siegfault, the winner. I will ping him, give him his congratulations. And then we'll keep casting video games. How about that, everybody? 4 games left for the night. We have Dark Elves, who we just saw. No Slaanesh. So let's do this one. Grimbat's Vampire Coast versus the Cheeseman with his Greenskins, not taking a caster. Fuck casters, he says. Grimgor Ironhide is a caster. It's the only caster I need. The Cheeseman. Alright, for the Cheeseman, his build's a little simpler, so we'll just go into that. Goblin Wolf Chariot, they did get buffed. Orc Biggins and Black Orcs for a front line. Night Goblin Archers on the back to be stalked and not shot by mortars. Some Savage Orc Boar Boys. Grimgor Ironhide with all of his buffs. And then 2 Giants. The other side for the Vampire Coast. Grimbat's patented build. Front line of mixed handguns and deckhands mobs, a couple hand cannons here and there, Shade Wraith Gunners, a single Carronade, Lampy's Revenge, Animated Hulks, and Celastra. You see this sometimes in new player tournaments where they make a build that they like and they'll just play it over and over again to try and get good at the build. If you don't know all the matchups, you can at least learn your build specifically well and then just apply it to whatever matchup you're in. Like, if you know you have hand cannons to take out big monsters, even if you've never fought Greenskins with Double Giant before, you understand that giants are big monsters. Your hand cannons can shred them pretty good. Shade Wraith Gunners plus handguns push away the Goblin Wolf Chariots as Grimgor is currently getting shot by a cannon. Greenskins do need to advance, not like a rules thing, but they are just going to get shot for free while they wait for their Goblin Wolf Chariot to come back, so they should probably advance. In the interest of time, because it is almost 10 o'clock here on a Tuesday night, I am going to fast forward as the Greenskins advance. His cannons are shooting Grimgor. Poor guy. Here they go. Starting to move up. Handguns will soon get into range. And the Shade Wraith Gunners getting some good shots on the Night Goblins. I don't know if they've even spotted them or if they happen to just shoot them because they're shooting at the Black Orcs, but it's a tough time. I'm waiting for these handguns to open up. It's going to be a brutal volley onto the unshielded Black Orcs. And shooting Orc Biggins for now. Give me that center shot. Yeah. Black Orcs marching in, getting pinged. Poked down by the handguns of the coast. Goblin Wolf Chariots are back briefly, and then routed again. Fuck those guys, apparently. For the distance, an Orc Biggin is going to maybe rout before it even hits the front line. Black Orc might be following along suit, and Grimgor continues to get sniped up by the Shade Wraith Gunners and the Carronade. Man. Grimbat had a different game, too, where they're trying to snipe out the enemy lord before the game even started. It was Drycha. Grimbat fucking hates Footlords, bro. Shade Wraith Gunners continue to pummel Grimgor as he runs. Vampire Coast is very far ahead of the balance of power. More shots coming in. Cannon's trying to hit him too. He's down to 500 HP. He's down to 400 HP. He's already shattered, but that isn't good enough for them. That isn't good enough for the sick fucks of the Vampire Coast. They need him dead. And when he dies, the Greenskin leadership's going to fall apart. You already see a lot of routing units, but it's just going to get way worse now that Grimgor's died. Black Orcs are already routing before he died. These Savage Orc Boar Boys get rear charged, so they're going to rout. Orc Biggins are thinking about routing. And the hand cannons, they're lining up for the Savage Orc Boar Boys, but I want to see them shoot the Giant. Shoot the Giant. Shoot the... Not you! Not you! Hand cannons, shoot the Giant. Shoot the Giant. No, they're aiming at the Savage Orcs. I want to see them shoot the Giant! Shoot it! Shoot it at point blank range! Yeah, there it is. Shotgun blasts into his unarmored belly. Tear his innards out with your lead. Eat his organs. Cook his inside meats. Make his insides his outsides, and make his outsides your food. Alright, yeah, the Giant died. Hi, Olaf. Rest in peace, the Cheeseman. You tried. It's fucked up that Grimbat would cheese you like this. You can't cheese the Cheeseman. Look at this cheese-ass build. Who would ever expect a front line of zombie mobs and then backed up by handguns and cannons and animated hulks? This is some bullshit. Grimbat, I hope you're out there and I hope you can hear me. You cheated, poor cheese man, and you deserve mild sadness for a couple minutes. Just take 1 or 2 seconds and feel sad. All right. Actually, I'm gonna start my watch. Okay. So, feel mildly bad for 2 seconds. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. 1, 2. All right, you're good. Did you feel bad? Did you feel bad for a little bit? Should have. Grimbat's typed me on Discord. I love Grimbat. They're funny. Most of their posts on our Discord bring a smile to my face. Love Grimbat. All right, let's do this one. King of the Hoots versus Siegfried. Grimbat's build is like old Anticity builds for Armor 2. Yeah, it's good. It's a pretty solid build. I like it. I think Count Noctis is better than Slaanesh in most cases, but Slaanesh not bad. It's not a bad choice. Like, I think Luther Harkon is objectively a bad choice, but Slaanesh fine. Let's do it. So for Siegfried versus King of the Hoots, we have Khorne, 4 Martyr Horsemen throwing axes, 1 Gorby's Chariot of Khorne, which are my favorite chariot right now. They got some buffs. They feel really good. I like them quite a lot. Scarbrand, his good boy Karanak, and a front line of 5 Bloodletters. What up, Scott MC? On the other side, we have Knights of the Ebon Claw, Cold One Dread Knight ROR, 2 Cold One Knights regular, Witch Elves and Blackrock Corsairs mixed in with 3 Shades, a Dark Caster with only Doombolt, and Malice Darkblade. Skirmish Cav quickly going to realize there's an ambush afoot, and they run away. Cold One Knights don't have quite the speed to catch these swift little guys of Khorne, and they will get hit with some flaming throwing axes in the meantime. Malice and his Cold One Knights take a free charge onto Bloodletters. Really good impact damage onto those low armored infantry. But in comes a danger. Scarbrand with his Rampage are coming for blood. Looks like he's going to pop it in the middle of these guys. I don't know what the end result of that will be. It's not like there's a bunch of punishment, but Karanak is silencing. Holy shit. Okay, taking bets now. Does Karanak silence Malice's ability to turn into Zarkan? Is that true? If that's true, that's so fucked. Scarbrand's getting shot by the Shades. Scorby's Chariot is rolling through the Witch Elves, and the Witch Elves need to hurry up and pop their Witch's Brew. You almost always, 99.99% of the time, need to just pop Witch's Brew as soon as melee starts. It doesn't matter. Don't wait for the correct engagement, because you're going to take so much damage in the meantime that it won't be as effective. Karanak let Malice go. I really wanted to see him just Shadow Malice to see if he can't transform. That is totally how that works. Karanak, go get his ass! Don't let him transform! Karanak's busy doing other stuff, as the Witch Elves do get their Murderous Mastery and Murderous Prowess, but they still haven't popped their Witch's Brew, and I am very disappointed. Ooh, one of them did. One of them popped it. Scarbrand and Karanak are back onto Malice, and Karanak's enraged. This bitch is silenced. He can't transform. Nice big rampage onto him. Doombolt coming in, though Scarbrand is currently getting pincushioned by Shades, as is his birthright. He's always pincushioned by Shades. And Karanak continues to hunt Malice Darkblade down. Scarbrand's gonna back off because he's a little baby coward that can't handle getting shot in the face by Shades for like an hour and a half. Khorne slightly ahead on the balance of power. If Malice is able to transform into Zarkan, that would be a big boost for them. And Karanak is getting low. He can't keep this up forever. Khorne is trying to shut down the Shades so Scarbrand can return to the fight, but he's actually just going to go fight other Shades who are also shooting him in the face. Karanak's running away from Malice, and Malice should be free and clear to transform soon. He'll be just fine. The Dark Elves look like they might be pulling ahead on this one as Khorne is trying to stay in it. Do they have a Sword of Khorne? Do they have anything that could help them in this situation? Sisters is singing Doom, getting run over by Karanak. Still a lot of skirmish cav left. In fact, some of them are going to even help Skarbrand run these guys down. Khorne has gotten... Oof, that is a small Dark Elf build. Actually, there's not a lot of kills to get. Khorne has gotten about 500, though, so they should still have whatever powers they want. As Karanak is getting chased by Malice. Malice putting the shoe on the other foot as he's running down Karanak, but he is silenced the whole time. And Skarbrand's coming over. Oh my god, he's gonna do it. He's gonna get him while he can't transform. Holy shit. Skirmish Cav gonna surround him. Malice is overextended. He's like, don't worry, I'll just turn into a demon. I'll just turn into a demon. I'll just... Demon? Demon! Demon! No! Skarbrand's gonna hit him. He's not transforming. He fucking can't. He's silenced. That's for sure how it works. No way he just forgot to cast it. He actually can't. He can't do shit. Tzarkan's scared. Little Slaanesh demon all spooky scared of Karanak. Oh, but Karanak. Ooh. Karanak got out of range, but Malice routes before he can transform. Skarbrand's gonna finish him off. And that's probably the end of the Dark Elves. If you have Malice not able to transform, I mean, that's it, surely, right? 8 HP on him. Is gonna try and scamper away. Classic Malice move. That's GG. This is how Malice should have gone down in that stupid end time stuff. That'd be better. That'd be better than what actually happened to him. I really hope the rework of army abilities... Oh, I really hope they rework more of the army abilities. Yeah. For Khorne, it's rough, because you know you can just take as few models as possible. Hey, look! I said the Gorbius Chariots felt pretty good after the buff. We didn't really watch them all game, but they got a lot of value, so love that. For King of the Hoots, he had a toughie. I am definitely going to go into a quick battle and just see if that Malice thing works the way I think it did. We have 2 games left to cast, but I just want to test something real quick. So if I take Malice, not you, Malice, put him on Spite, give my opponent Khorne, give him Karanak with only his silence, because I don't want him netting me and drawing this out or anything. Very hard, so they'll charge me, but they need to be the attackers to do that. All right, let's go. All I'm looking to see is that silence stops Malice from transforming. I'm pretty sure, because of how that played out, I don't think King of the Hoots would just forget to transform for as long as that fight went on, but I want to make sure before I give Fireball too much credit, because he's in the chat right now talking shit, talking mad shit.
Tyrant of battle.
All right, let's see if that gets silenced. Ha! He can't fucking transform! He can't! He's stuck! He's stuck being just little bitch Malice! I can't turn it! No! That's so fucked up! Fireball, I'm joking as per usual. 90% of what I say is just horseshit. Okay, so we have Greenskins, and then we have Dwarves and Vampire Coast. We just watched King of the Hoots, so we'll end the stream with King of the Hoots, but we'll hop over here. Greyheart versus Falling Star. Falling Star was my bet to win the tournament. He did not win the tournament, but he won my heart. Kislev versus Greenskins. Wait a second, is this his Orc push build again? This is Greyheart's Orc push build again. He switched up something. He got the Crimson Killas when he didn't used to have them. I think he got rid of his Savage Orc Biggins for the Crimson Killas, but otherwise, yeah, this is the thing. I'm a little concerned, actually, for this Orc push build, because you're taking it against Kislev, who do have the Frostworm, now that it's pretty much a chariot with its collision attacks, and the Incarnate Elemental Beasts. Not that you knew the Incarnate was coming, but still, Frostworm's kind of spoopy. Anyway, for the build, Orc Boys, Orc Spear Boys, Crimson Killas, Orc Biggins. Then we have a couple Orc RR Boys, triple Orc Boar Boy Biggin, one of which is the ROR. Then we have a Night Goblin Caster with Sneaky Stabbin and Gork'll Fix It. And then a Night Goblin War Boss with Rampage and Net. Rampage is the Frostworm, so it can't keep pathing through the units. It will stop in place. And then he immediately throws out his Tormentor Sword to net these guys in front of the Orc Biggins. So really trying to stop these monsters. And actually, nice pin cushioning here with 2 Orc Aura Boys shooting at that Incarnate. He's nice and tall and pretty easy to hit. With only 50 armor, he actually takes a lot of damage. For Kislev, I didn't even get to their build before the battle started, but Kislevite Warrior frontline, some Warbear Riders, the Wolfheart Auctioneer Ambushers, some Wing Lancers as well, and then a Ice Caster with Blizzard, which she'll need. Heart of Winter, and then her Ice Shard. But already the Incarnate Elemental Beast is going down. He chucks out his Howl of the Great Beast to lower the enemy leadership, but it's not going to be enough to save him as he is already dead and gone. A little too tall. Too easy for all his archers to shoot. Now the Frostworm is the next target. He is much harder to hit. His serpentine body plus a bit of missile resistance makes him tankier as the Warbear Riders try and push through. Kislev is winning the blob fight for now, but the archers are having a field day while the Greenskins buy them some time. And comes the first wall, but the Orc Boar Biggins look like they're about to rout in the face of the Wing Lancers, who do have Glorious Charge, making them fearsome melee combatants as long as they get the charge off. Crimson Killas pushing in on them is not the fight the Wing Lancers want to take, so they're going to try and break out and get to these Orc R Boys instead. A little easier prey there. And Kislev do have the Patriarch for a little bit of healing. It's not passive healing anymore, that's long gone, but Silix's Lullaby, still pretty good if they can cast it every so often. And they're actually almost routing the Night Goblin War Boss. He's currently stuck in a pack trap, but the Wolfhearts are wandering into melee. As a big old Heart of Winter is going to come out, try and clear these Orc Biggins, try and leave the Night Goblin War Boss abandoned on his own, and then maybe these Kislevite Halberds, the Warbear Riders, the Patriarch, they can snipe him. And Lord Sniping is the only way the Greenskins are going to lose at this point. Like, they're pretty far ahead as far as army goes. Wing Lancers trying to disrupt the Orc R-Boy backline. Pretty nice little Ice Shard into the Broken Tuskmaw as Wing Lancers charge them. Ooh, the Wing Lancers charge doing a lot of damage. And that Heart of Winter continues to churn on through the Orc Biggins. Wears off now, but did a good amount of damage. The Frostworm manages to start getting some terror routes going, and the Night Goblin War Boss is left all alone. Another Silix's Lullaby should be here soon. And is this a turn on the Greenskins? Maybe. Greenskins are still ahead. I definitely think they're still ahead, but Kislev has gotten some good plays in right now. Despite of the Bad Moon's out, some form of Rampage is here. It's on to Kislevite Warriors, interestingly enough. I wonder if that was a misclick or the intended target as the Crimson Killers are cleaving through. Look at these peasants. Look at these peasants fighting the biggest, reddest, baddest boys. That's not going well for those guys. One Wing Lancer is about spent. Dead as hell. The Greenskins still have 4 Orc R Boys up and online, firing into the Wing Lancers across from who they can. You look concerned.
Did you ever do the cow's ear?
Did I do the Mukazir?
Yeah, tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
I did it while you were doing your notes when I gave them both dinner. At like 5. Hey, the stream has another question for you.
Okay.
I like all those poses. Those were good poses. The stream asked, why are you so wonderful?
They didn't ask that.
Okay.
You asked that.
Get out.
Right? Is that what happened? You lying?
They might. There's a delay. They probably don't even know you're here yet. There's 96 people. If they subscribe, and I have to do that ice bath stream, you'll help me set that up, right?
Yeah, I'm not getting in the ice bath.
No, of course not.
Here she comes.
Hazel's here too.
In all her glory.
God damn it, Hazel.
What?
I don't know.
Nice.
She's stinky.
Better than her stealing.
Hey, Warzag asked. Everybody's asking.
Huh? Okay, well now you guys are one asking.
See, they asked.
No.
Cheater.
Grace jump scare. Yeah, that's just kind of my vibe.
Yeah.
Classic.
Alright, I'm almost done. Uh-oh, she's dancing. And now Hazel's here. Okay, okay.
Okay, come on.
Okay, come on, Hazel. Get out of here. Shoot. Stupid dog. Back in it, as the Greenskins continue to wipe out the Kislevite forces, Frostworm is It looks like he's attacking his own Wing Lancers. I know he's not, but it looks like he is. Orc Poor Boy Biggins pushed off. Auction Ambushers are rallied for a second as the Patriarch is left all alone against Orc Spear Boys. Thankfully, he's not on his bear, so they don't get their anti-large, but, I mean, he's still just a man with a beard surrounded by orcs. That was a cool little spinny move. Good for you. Good little spinny move. The second and final law comes out. Kislev still tries to defend what they can. They'll soon be overrun as the brave Wing Lancers are dragged down by the Crimson Killas. Army losses hits, and anybody without Buyer Blood hits the road. Good win for the Green Beans. Someone earlier was sad the Greenskins lost to, I believe it was Ogres. So, here you go. Here's your vengeance win. Because the Orc Biggins got really good value. Archers also did fantastically. Just insta-killing the Elemental Incarnated Beasts. Kislevite Warriors did fine. Warbear Riders struggled a little bit. Kislevite Wing Lancers actually just around paid for themselves. That's pretty solid. GG. Last, final game of the entire stream. It is Dwarfs. Stinky, smelly, poopy, garbage, dumb dwarves. Versus the Chad Vampire Coast. Fireball Phoenix, since you won, does that mean you successfully stole being human boy? Nope. Lies. Nope. Don't remember that. Necromancer's here. Hi. You popped in while I was fucking around with Grace. Scotch too. What up, Necromancer? You know, Grace never did answer why she's so wonderful. She ignored all you guys. We have some Vanguard shenanigans, so I'm going to put it on slow motion while we figure out the armies. 4 miners with blasting charges, the Grim Delver Thunderers with shotguns, and then 4 Bugman's Rangers. Backing them up are some Slayers, Dwarf Warriors, Thoric Ironbrow, almost said Thorgrim Grudgebearer, double cannons, and another Dwarf Warrior. For the coast, I see some sneaky units. We have 2 sneaky Morngulls, one of which is the Night Terrors, a front line of zombie deckhands mobs with some bombers, sirens, triple deck gunner, one of which is a Shade Wraith gunner, double carronade, and a Deathcaster with Fate of Beauty and Spare Legion. Next turn, you're going to win with Chaos Dwarves only. Good, they're an overpowered faction. Blasting charges into the deckhands mobs, going to take care of a lot of them. Won't quite finish them off, but it is a good amount of damage. Shade Wraith Gunner's Discouraged Aura, plus a lot of damage, might rout off these miners before they get a true blasting charge shot off. Nope, they do manage to get one. And then the Grim Delvers will try and finish off those bombers before they get into range to counterfire. Bugman's Rangers with only 40 armor would not enjoy being bombed. As the Shade Wraith Gunners fire back on them. Those blasting charges do a lot of damage, my friends. The Dwarves having some line of sight issues. They are getting in their own way a little bit. And in comes the sneaky Morngul flank. Appearing in the dead of night. 1 Dwarf Warrior cannot stop 2 Morngulls from killing these cannons. That's going to be a big win for the Vampire Coast back here. Meanwhile, Bugman's Rangers in range of the Shade Wraith Gunners, killing those guys off. But they're getting kind of mucked up a little bit here. Thankfully for the Dwarves, Vampire Coast took Sirens, and Sirens are the worst unit in the entire game, and they suck and they're garbage, and I hate them. Thoric has joined the frontline fight. Bugman's Rangers might want to fall back a little bit, let the Miners and Slayers do the talking. But like we said, those cannons got instantly ganked by the Morngulls, and the Morngulls actually aren't even going to hang around and kill them off. I think that's actually smart. I didn't think about that, but just rout them off their cannons, and then instead of chasing them forever, because it would take you so long to actually kill them, they just proceed forward. The cannons are shut down. That's all they really need, is they're going to run up and stop the Bugman's Rangers from firing. The Grimdelvers are already pushed off. And the Vampire Coast, they actually have a pretty decent lead right now. Get onto the back of the Bugman's Rangers, surprise those guys. Very nice Morngul play. I like that a lot. Thoric's getting Spirit Leashed right now. Might as well. Dwarves are magic resistant, but still you gotta do it. And the Slayers are currently the targets of the Deck Gunners. Trying to snipe those guys out before they get to the ranged units. Carronade's firing in, but now the Dwarf Cannons are gonna get back online. This is the payment for that Nurgle play where they didn't stop and chase them all down. Well, I still think it was actually the right move not to chase them all down. It does have a cost, and that cost is they get to get back online, but your Nurgles actually got to participate in the rest of the fight, so you got to give something up, right? The Dwarven infantry are feeling very, very hurt, but this is concerning. The Slayers have gotten on the back line. They took out one deck gunner. The Shade Wraith gunners died to archers. And now the cannons are the next foe, and they cannot outrun the Slayers, so even if they abandon their mounts, they're not going anywhere. As these other Slayers also catch more deck gunners, the balance of power is about to even a lot. It's going to come way back towards the middle, as these triple ranged units are all just going to die a horrible death. So keep an eye on that balance of power. Meanwhile, the Nurgles continue to try and grind through all these Dwarven infantry, the hunger healing them up slightly as they go about it. It looks like they might be going back for round 2 with the cannons. Just keep routing them. Eventually they'll shatter. Balance of power should be getting better as these deck gunners and carronades are going to die. That's pretty spoopy. I wouldn't want to be those dwarves. That doesn't look fun. Last of the bombers dying off. We still have some sirens running around here and there. And the last shot of the carronades was heard. Dwarves feeling a little bit better about their position in this game with all the coast ranged gone. Not loving that their cannons are getting shut down. This one still has 3 out of 4 models. This one's down to, I guess, technically 3 out of 4 models. They're all just clumped together and getting hit by Nurgles, so I assumed there was less of them. Bugman's Rangers have rallied and starting to fire back into the Night Terrors. Is it more worth it to shoot the Night Terrors or honestly just shoot the deckhands mob? Whoa, wow! Okay, I didn't mean to make that noise, but did you see that cannon volley? 4 minutes. Okay, I gotta go back to 4 minutes and watch that again at some point, because that was crazy. That was an involuntary sound that I'm a little embarrassed of. That was like a mix of Mario falling off of an edge and, I don't know, a different prepubescent Mario falling off of a different ledge. Anyway, what are we doing? Dwarves have rallied. Slayers and Thoric trying to rejoin the fight. The zombie pirate fleet admiral is hiding in the woods while charges up some winds of magic and ran away from the Slayers. Can't say I blame him. And he is a lot of balance of power and a lot of fraudulent balance of power. When I say fraudulent, I don't mean that he's a bad unit, he doesn't deserve the balance of power. I mean in the state of the game the unit I'm talking about is in, he doesn't matter, so his balance of power isn't relevant. Like, he's a good caster, but if he ends up in a late game fight against like Thoric and some Slayers, then he's going to lose badly and it doesn't matter. This carronade is still online, firing away. And the coast are just trying to hang in there. We're getting some sirens who are going to crumble soon. Another siren that's not going to crumble, but oh no, if he has a Rune of Wrath and Ruin, this is a disaster for the coast. These guys are way too clumped up. Oh no, look away! Not like this! Ah, it's half health off of a siren. As Thoric charges in, tries to buff up his Dwarf Force, keep him in the fight briefly, but that's a really good cast for him. Yeah, he already has 700 value from just casting those things. Bugman's Ranger is going to fire at the Nurgles on their way in as cannons fire down the side of them. And man, can you imagine if Nurgles actually did damage quickly? Like, imagine if Nurgles did as much damage as Minotaurs. Then they'd be a good unit. Instead of just knocking shit around all the time, if they actually demolish things like Minos do. Thoric is slamming some sirens as cannons try and take out those guys. The Night Terrors are still lurking around in the distance, gathering up any dwarves they can. And in comes the Vampire Fleet Admiral. Blitzes his way through the Dwarven lines to get somewhere. I actually don't know where he's going specifically, but he's trying to get there, damn it. This is getting a little concerning. Thoric surrounded by Nurgles and Sirens, and with a Vampire Caster coming over who's probably going to Spirit Leech him like 7 or 8 more times. It's not ideal. That cannon fire, that's very ideal. What's that cannon's value? 700? Oh, I thought it would do more, honestly, for how much damage it's done. The Vampire Caster might be able to finish off Thoric. He doesn't have his Slayer bodyguard. They got separated from him over the course of the game. Like, they're way over there, so they're not protecting him right now. Spirit Leech onto him. Ooh, big mistake, unfortunately. Spirit Leech Overcast doesn't do more damage. It increases your range. So if you're right next to him, overcasting it does literally nothing. Just a heads up. Thork down to 200 HP, refusing to rout. As the Morgul's have faded around him there, he routes as soon as I say something. The Sirens are also about to die, but the Vampire Polearms caster is still trying to get Thork. And he casts a Rune of Speed on himself. He's so fast, 43 speed, he's booking. We're off. He's not booking. The booking has stopped. Night Terror is barely clinging to life. We still have some zombies out here. Bounce power is roughly 50-50. A little bit in the Dwarves' favor. Sirens fade away. Bugman's Rangers turn on the Night Terrors who are crawling, trying to get to safety. Thork has died. Leadership of the Dwarves takes a little bit of a hit. Night Terrors should be able to tear out both these guys pretty instantaneously without Thork around. I guess the Miners are immune to it for now. Nope, there they go. Here's the part where I said this guy is fraudulent, though. I was just waiting for the Slayers to catch him. Watch how quickly he dies to Slayers. That's not going great. That's not going great, is it? Is it? How does it feel? How does it feel, you vampire bitch, to be surrounded by Slayers, cleaving through your shins with their axes? Feels pretty bad, don't it? Night Terrors crumbling as a cannon continues to shoot at them. So they'll fade away soon. Bounce power goes further in the favor of the Dwarves. And now we just get to watch a little Polearms boy get shanked to death by Axe Dwarves. I don't know why the Slayers backed off. They were winning that, but I think he wanted to hit him with the cannon or something. Dun, dun, dun. We all know it's Ogre. There it is. Alright, I just want to see at 4 minutes, there was a cannon shot that blew my mind. I want to see that, then we'll end the stream. Four minutes. About right here. I'm gonna say it happens right here, if I remember right. I'm gonna keep circling this spot until 4 minutes. It was like 4 minutes and 15 seconds, but I think the cannon shot heard around the world happens right here where I'm circling. Right in there. Let's see how close I am. Those Grim Delvers were pretty disappointing, by the way. Right in here. Alright, we're getting close to 4 minutes, and I'm getting a little nervous. Don't let it fade, don't let it fade, don't let it fade. That's where I said it would happen. There are the Morgulls. So watch the cannon shots from this point onto the Morgulls. Because there was one that just, like, shredded them. Okay, so I said it was going to happen over here. It's not happening over there. But I want to track these cannonballs and see how this happens. Morgulls have 6,400 HP. They're about to fire. Like, this is definitely the volley that did it, so I'm just waiting for them to shoot. What do the cannons have for value right now? 300. Okay, so they have 300 before this volley. Watch them overhyping it and, like, literally nothing happened. I'm just being a fool. Boom! Bam! Boom! Pow! Okay, okay, okay. So that's how it happened. This cannonball and this trajectory hit 1, 2, 3, 4 Morgulls. So that was a 4-man shot. And they went from like 6,000-ish HP down to 4,700. So they lost like 1,000 HP in the blink of an eye in one volley. And I was alarmed and scared. And then that cannon went from 300 value to 500. So it was a 200 value shot. Not bad. Did I overhype it? Definitely. Was it also a good shot? Yes. That's all I have for you tonight. There's 77 people watching at this time zone. That's pretty good for us. If you're not subscribed, you should do that. Why? Because it doesn't cost you anything. I don't expect you to watch all my content. But it does boost our numbers for YouTube. If people subscribe, then YouTube's like, huh, I should put this in front of more people. And then those people can subscribe. And we can have an upward spiral. So even if you somewhat enjoy the content from time to time, you should subscribe. You can always unsubscribe later. If I'm annoying, which I am, if I'm annoying to you, just unsubscribe later. But for now, just click it. Click it! Do it! Do it, coward! Human Boy, yes. How can we give you money? You can join the channel as a member or whatever. And you can also go on Patreon and become a patron. Those are 2 ways to give money over time. If you just want to give me money, I don't know, YouTube donations or PayPal. I have my PayPal posted on my Discord in the support the channel link. There's tons of ways to give me money. Do whatever you want. Or don't give me any money. That's also fine. Do whatever you want. Warzag, if you do join the next tournament, we'd be happy to have you. Alright, good night, everybody.